from Arkansas's #1 trusted source for weather. This is a severe weather alert.
Alrighty, good afternoon, Arkansas. Once again, I'm back here once again to give you guys an update on what's going on here. I do realize we have a special weather statement that just went out. That's going to be for the storm down there in southwestern Arkansas. So if you haven't heard by now, we do now have two things I want to go over real quickly here before we jump into radar. We have a particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch incoming for much of Arkansas, and we have an upgrade to high risk incoming for eastern Arkansas at this current time. So I wanted to kind of go over this before I go over the current radar at this current time. So for those in eastern Arkansas, this is going to be for Pine Bluff, up towards Searcy over the the Memphis area, all the way down to Helena and West Helena over there in far eastern Arkansas. This is going to be the area of the highest of high. This is where the high risk is going to be coming as we get towards the 11:30 update. You're going to hear a ding go off in the background if there is an alert that does go out, and that's going to be from the Storm Prediction Center, and that's going to be the high risk that's going to be incoming for the natural state here. So I wanted to kind of go over that real quickly. Those that are trying to ask questions and stuff like that, folks, I'm going to stress to that right now. I'm super busy with updates and stuff at this point. So if I don't get to your question, do not take it personally. We've got a lot of updates coming in from the Storm Prediction Center and stuff like that right now. So just kind of keep that in mind. However, I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about this right out of the gate here. And also, one more thing, this is going to be the particularly dangerous situation tornado watch here that's going to go for much of Arkansas. That includes the slight risk area, the enhanced risk, the moderate, and the eventual high risk that's going to be coming across eastern Arkansas at this current time here. So what we're going to do for just a minute while we're waiting on this update is I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to current radar at this current time here, and we're going to be tracking a few storms over here in western Arkansas. Some of these storms are already producing some small hail indicative on radar. We've got this one near Jasper, near the Western Grove area. None of these storms are rotating at this current time. I'm double checking everything at this current point, just looking at everything right now. This is kind of the initiation. This is your initiation beginning to start over here in western Arkansas at this current time. So there's your line of storms beginning. That's going to move east into central and eastern Arkansas over the next couple of hours, and that's what's going to set up a very dire situation for the potential of tornadoes, significant tornadoes. Some of them could potentially be violent tornadoes. We're talking the EF4 plus. Also, the potential of very large hail and the potential of significant damage winds. But I want to stress that the tornado threat is the #1 priority right now. That this is why you're getting a high risk. It's going to be a tornado-driven high risk for our folks over there in eastern Arkansas and in northeastern Arkansas here. So those that are wondering here. Now this one right here, I got this first question I want to pop up real fast that I'm looking at. Why is western Arkansas in the PDS area? It's just because of these cells. These cells are going to develop very quickly. This is why I stress to you guys so much during severe weather events to pay attention. You have to. It's a must at this point. I don't know how else I can make it clear to everybody. You're gonna have to pay attention. You are at the point where you're talking an extreme level of tornadoes, especially in eastern Arkansas. You're gonna have to pay attention. You're gonna have to be 100% aware of your situations here. This is as serious as you are going to get me at this point. So why is western Arkansas at it? It's just because of these cells that are going up. This is gonna be an area, and I'm pretty certain what they're gonna end up doing with the newest update is they're probably going to include western Arkansas in the significant tornado potential as well if they're planning on going PDS, which is a particularly dangerous situation that far west. So keep that in mind across the board here. So like I said before, it's rainy, it's cool, not much is going on. Folks, I'm begging you at this point. You have to be weather aware. So far, we've had a moderate risk. You guys know the drill. This is the first legitimate high risk in Arkansas since 2014. You have got to be aware today. You have to be. It is a crucial thing to life and property at this point. You have to be weather aware. Don't worry about the ongoing rainfall right now in eastern Arkansas. Don't worry about the fact that it's cool right now. Worry about the fact that there's incoming severe weather regardless of the rainfall in this right now. This is not going to ruin your severe weather threat. They would not be upgrading this if they did not think that you were going to see significant severe weather. So keep that in mind. I understand it's rainy, it's cool, nothing's going on. Folks, you're going to have to be prepared today. I say this all the time. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force them to drink it. So you've got to be prepared. You have to be. This is the first time, and we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's just come on the board. Let me switch this back over to our alert bar real quickly here. So we have a new severe thunderstorm warning I'm going to talk to you guys about. This one is going to go for our folks over here. So I'm going to read to you guys the new severe thunderstorm warning. It's going to be for northeastern Logan County, also Johnson County and Pope County over here. It's going to go until 12:15 this afternoon. 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size sails, 70 and moving northeast at 70 miles per hour here, folks. So this is the latest alert. This is the one that's coming up at this current point. This is the newest severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued for this area here. So to repeat, we have a severe thunderstorm warning, first one of the day, for northeastern Logan, central Johnson, and northwestern Pope, P-O-P-E, County over here in western Arkansas. 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-size sail with these storms. So these storms are already starting to get going at this current time here, okay? So this is the last time I'm stressing to everybody. It is imperative. It is imperative to be weather aware today. If you are not aware at this point, I don't know how else I can help you. I don't. You have to be. You have to be aware of your situations. You got to know where your counties are. You got to know where your surrounding counties are. As a matter of fact, let's do this. I'm going to switch over from city to county. Okay, so these are all the counties in Arkansas. You have to know where your county are. You have to know where your counties are, and you know where your surrounding counties are, especially in eastern Arkansas. That's just putting it straightforward at this point. You have to know where you are, folks, okay? Do not take today lightly. You have to be weather prepared. I don't know what else everybody else is saying. Why is everybody else saying otherwise? I don't know at this point. But you have an upgrade to a high risk incoming for eastern Arkansas, a particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch incoming for Arkansas. I don't know how else I could be clear about that. I don't know how else I can explain that more clearly to everyone about being weather aware at this time. I don't know what else everyone else is saying. At this point, I know we have a high risk incoming, first time since 2014. You're going to have to be prepared here in Arkansas. You have to be at this current time here. So this is what we got. There's the ongoing radar at this point. So before there's that severe thunderstorm warning at this current time, I'm switching it back over to the cities real fast. And I'm gonna leave this looping while we have the newest information coming up at this current time here. But to repeat, this is what it means. I'm gonna get this up once again because for those that are wondering over and over and over and over about what this PDS means, is particularly dangerous situation. Let me repeat, particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch. You haven't heard of it before because it is very rare to get one to this at an extreme level at this current time here. So just kind of keep that in mind at this current time here. But I don't know how else I can make it clear, guys. You're going to have to be prepared. You have to be at this current time. So I'm just double checking everything. Let me double check everything at this point. Let me see here. Just getting also, if I go quiet, I do apologize. I'm getting the latest information from the Storm Prediction Center at this current time. Let me see here. Let me go over everything real fast. Okay, so right now I'm not seeing anything on the board. Let me see here. Okay, so just double checking everything. Riverview School District is closely monitoring the weather situation for today. Please know that our number one priority is safety of your children. We understand concerns of the weather and will excuse student absences, stuff like that. But they're watching the situation closely if you're in the Riverview area, the Riverview School District at this current time. And also I want to stress if a tornado warning happens, we will have to switch because right now we're kind of in the blog mode. If a tornado warning does happen, this will temporarily go off for just a second. And then I have to switch everything back over to go over to the tornado warning cover. So just keep that in mind across the area. But folks, a lot of people are wondering, why is it raining so much? Why is it cool and stuff like that? Like I said, folks, stay weather aware. If it doesn't happen in your area today, you're going to be blessed. You're awesome. You're good to go. But Eastern Arkansas, we're watching very, very closely. That's going to be the high-risk area that's going to be incoming for to stay here at this current time. So for those that are trying to wonder where the timing's going to be, I'm going to show this just briefly at this point. Also, we are not live stream biased. We have information on the page. If you've never heard of us before, go on the page, scroll down, take 5 minutes out of your day, and go look at the information. Like I said before, I'm sorry if I sound blunt right now, but folks, you're going to have to meet us halfway today. You're going to have to meet us halfway in terms of finding the graphics, reading the entire graphic, because we're not going to sit here and go over specific city and county questions. It's not going to happen. So, folks, it's going to be up to you. You're going to have to know where you live. You're going to have to know your counties, and you're going to have to know where you're falling in this graphic. That's the biggest thing. I'm going to leave this up for just a little bit while we're getting the latest information from the Storm Prediction Center. It should be coming out here momentarily. Like I said before, I'm fully anticipating that it's going to be a high risk of severe weather for Eastern Arkansas, and I'm very curious to see what they're going to do at this current time in terms of the upgrade at this point. So right now it's just pretty calm at this point, except for the severe thunderstorm warning at this time here. Let me go ahead and double check everything at this point. And there's the newest update from the Storm Prediction Center. New day 1 has just been issued. Let's go take a look at it real fast. And it's going to be a high risk for Eastern Arkansas. I'm already expecting it. Let's go ahead and take a look at that real quickly here. Okay, so there's now a high risk for severe thunderstorms for far southeastern Iowa, west central Illinois, northeastern Missouri, and portions of eastern Arkansas, north Mississippi, and southwestern Tennessee. A severe weather outbreak is appearing increasingly likely centered this afternoon into this evening. Long track, strong, potentially violent tornadoes are probable, particularly over the areas in Mississippi Valley, Mississippi Valley and the Mid-South. Swaths of intense damaging wind gusts with very large hail is expected at this point. A dangerous severe weather outbreak is likely. Strong, potentially violent, long track tornadoes is forecast in this area at this time. So let's take a look and see what they did. And there it is, folks. There's the high risk here. So we're going to switch this over. Give me 1 second. And there it is, folks. There's the high risk at this time here. It is for Eastern Arkansas at this point. There's the moderate, there's the enhanced, and then there's the slight risk. But there's the moderate risk, there's the high risk at this time. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to switch this back over to the timing map real fast. I'm going to leave that up for just a little bit. All right, and I'm going to go over, and we're going to take a look. I believe the newest one should have been updated by now. There it is. And we're going to go to the Arkansas level, and we're going to take a look at this, okay? So there it is, right, fresh off the press. There's the high risk. There is the high risk for severe weather at this point. It is east of Little Rock. It is along Interstate 40. It includes Memphis. It includes Pine Bluff. Much of Arkansas County down here. All of Eastern Arkansas is in the high risk at this current time. All the moderate risk across Eastern Arkansas. There is the enhanced, and then there's the slight risk across Western Arkansas at this point. But there it is, folks. There is the high risk across Eastern Arkansas. The first high risk for Arkansas since 2014 at this point. There is the high risk at this current time here at this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back over. Let's take a look at the tornado threat. There's the tornado threat, and they did go 30% over here. There's the tornado threat right through here. That is east of Little Rock. All of this area, that is much of Arkansas, that is in the hatched area for seeing significant tornadoes at this current point. Timing is going to be primarily after the 2 o'clock time frame here, so keep that in mind at this point. You've got to listen to us, folks, okay? This is not a tornado warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning at this point over here in Polk County, POPE. At this time, you have to be ready to go. That's the number one thing at this current time. My moderators, please go into YouTube right now and clear up that. Folks, you're going to have to be an adult today. I'm not tolerating any negativity, any childish activities, or anything like that. You're going to have to be an adult today because we have a high risk, first time area since 2014 across Eastern Arkansas at this point. Moderate risk for much of Eastern Arkansas. That does include us here in Little Rock, all the way down to Southern Arkansas. The 10% from Mount Home to Bates, from Mount Home to Conway, all the way down to the Magnolia area, and then East and Western Arkansas, your threat is lower. but it doesn't mean squat. It doesn't mean you're not going to see anything over there in Western Arkansas, but we are very, very concerned for our folks in Western Arkansas at this current time here, okay? So, Hannah, I love your comment. Folks, like I said before, you've got to be weather aware. You have to be weather aware. You have to be. I don't know how clear that I can make this, but you have to be weather aware. Folks, Searcy is not in high risk. This is east of the Searcy area at this current time here, okay? So keep that in mind. This is east of Searcy at this point, but this is going to go for Little Rock, the Pine Bluff area, and West Memphis. As a matter of fact, if you could bear me for just a minute, I'm gonna switch this over to our graphics for just a little bit, and I'm gonna get our primary weather radar up, our software up real fast. So stream may lag for just a little bit, but we're gonna get this up and going, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly where the high risk is at this current time here. Okay, so bear for just a little bit. We're gonna get this information up, and give me just 1 second here. And there it is right there. I mean, this is the first time ever we've seen a high risk over here in this area here, okay? So, let me see here. Let me go over to this. Let me switch this back over to our radar. There it is. And we're going to go ahead. Like I said, the stream's going to lag up for just a little bit. So be patient with me for just a little bit. Okay, there's a severe thunderstorm warning at this point, okay? I'm gonna get off of here for just seconds. At this point, I think we're past all the other stuff. So there's that. Okay, and we're gonna get this up and going for you guys. See here. Let me go ahead and do this, and we're gonna go ahead and switch this over. Okay. Like I said, the stream's gonna lag up for just a little bit, which is fine. And let me see here. Let me double check, make sure we're good. I don't need this up anymore. Let me see here. Okay, we're good. All right. So we're going to switch this over to our primary radar. And we're going to do this. Bear with me for just a second, guys. Like I said before, I'm still getting this information up. So bear with me for just a moment, guys. Okay, so let me see here. Let me make this a little smaller. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. All right. There's our radar up and going. So you guys get to see that first thing. Like I said before, this is just me getting set up for any tornado warnings or anything like that. So there it is right there. All right, we're good to go at this point. Okay, and there it is. Okay, so there's a severe thunderstorm warning. All right, that's going to be for those areas that's moving northeast at 71 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour winds at this point. Now, what I'm going to do for just a second here is we're going to go ahead and switch this over. By the way, there's a significant tornado threat all the way back over here in western Arkansas now. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. And there it is. There's your high risk at this point. And there's the specifics of the high risk at this time here. Okay, so that's going to go for Pine Bluff, that's Stuttgart, West Helena, the Forest City area, that's Memphis, all this area over here. That's going to go for the following counties. That's Woodruff, that's Perry, Monroe, southeastern Lone Oak, Arkansas County, all of Arkansas County, Jefferson, down towards Lincoln, Deshae, Phillips, Lee, St. Francis, Cross, and also Crittenden counties over here in eastern Arkansas. This is your high risk area. This is the high risk at this point. This is east of Searcy for that particular question that I was wondering. But you are in a moderate risk. That, like I said, folks, don't pay attention to just the high risk areas. You gotta pay attention to the moderate and the enhanced and the slight risk areas at this current time here. So you can see there's the ongoing severe thunderstorm warning over here in western Arkansas that is in the slight risk area at this current time here. But to repeat, there it is at this point, folks. You're gonna have to be patient. If you leave, you don't get your questions answered, that's fine. Just make sure you have a game plan, you have a good day. But you're gonna have to be patient with this, guys. Okay, so if you miss a question, that's fine. Like I said before, there was a little bit of stuttering here and there, just because I was getting this up and going. But there it is, folks. There's the high risk at this time. There's your moderate, there's your enhanced, and then there's your slight risk areas. I understand everybody's anxiety is through the roof, and I'm warning you guys right now. Any negative comments, any bashing of our team is going to result in a ban. And we're not tolerating it. I'm talking about my moderators and everything like that. We're not tolerating it for today. So keep that in mind. This is a very serious situation. This is a dire situation, especially for central and eastern Arkansas at this current time here, okay? Pay attention. Listen. I'm only going to tell you once. If you don't listen, it's going to be on you. That's how it's going to be today. So you got to make sure that you are staying weather aware and you're paying attention at this point. There's a severe thunderstorm warning. What I'm going to do for just a moment, I'm going to go ahead and put a track on this one at this current time. So bear with me for just a little bit. And give me 1 second. I'm going to go over here and we'll get this up and going. So this is moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. I do believe they're going to drop this severe thunderstorm warning for too much longer here. And we're going to put it right here. Okay, so that's going to be that for now. We're going to zoom this out, and I'm going to leave it on this particular screen. But to repeat, we have a high risk for severe weather across eastern Arkansas at this current time. There's the track at this point. You're going to have to watch the situation very, very closely at this current time here. But there's the track. We're going to have to watch the situation closely over there at this time here. Now, a lot of folks in western Arkansas, northwestern Arkansas in particular, I'm not sounding the all clear for anybody right now. I'm not. I'm not sounding the all clear at this point. So the severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to drop at this current time, and we're going to have to watch the high risk at this current point. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. Alright, I'm getting in contact with one of our chasers at this point, okay? So, alright, so we're good. We're good. I'm just kind of collaborating with the chasers right now and also making sure we're getting the latest updates from Storm Prediction Center. But for those that are wondering, western Arkansas, you're in a slight. You're in the if right here in the orange zone, that's the enhanced. The red is the moderate. And then also the pink area is going to be the eastern Arkansas area. That is going to be the high-risk area at this current time here at this point. So, let me see here, going over everything right now. Cheryl, I love your comment as well. You got to know where you live, folks. Like I said, I don't know how much I can explain over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. You got to know where you live. If you don't know where you live at this point, if you do not know where you live at this point, do a Google search or contact us or something like that. Contact your police department, something like that. You have to know where your counties are. You have to at this point. You've got to know where your counties are at this current time, and guys, I cannot stress that enough at this point. Follow us on Discord as well. I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to the comment section real fast. Follow us on Discord. And I was going to say on the board right now, since we don't have anything right now, I'm going to leave this up for just a little bit, kind of answer a few questions here and there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and switch over to our constant stream on YouTube until there's tornado warnings at this point. So let me see here, going everything right now. And I see that comment. If one of my moderators can take care of that comment on YouTube, let me know at this point. So Nicole, love that comment. Be respectful, be patient, most importantly, pay attention, especially over there in eastern Arkansas. So you're going to have to watch this close. Will there be any development of the storms behind the line? Are you talking about behind the cold front, or are you talking behind like these line of storms right here? Because this is going to be your main event, and then your cold front's going to come in, and it's going to be, you should be good to go behind the cold front here at this point. So let me see here, and also I see a lot of people, about the weather apps and stuff like that. Those weather apps, sometimes they will do that. They could be 10 to 15 minutes in delay. Especially in events like this. So it's very important that you stay with us on the live streams, because those weather apps, sometimes they may not be 100% instant. It may take a second or two for it to get across your screen at this point. So do you expect the high risk to expand? No, I think it's perfect as it is. To be completely honest with you, I think the high risk is perfectly fine as it is over there in eastern Arkansas. The moderate's enough. The enhanced risk is enough, and the slight risk is enough. And folks that are wondering why I'm doing a constant lecturing, it's just because I want everybody to pay attention today. If you don't like it, there's other streams that you can go and watch. That's how it's going to be. So if you don't, that's the number one thing here. So the Storm Prediction Center, there's the number one thing. The Storm Prediction Center is very conservative with the high risk. There's been situations actually where the high risk has not even been issued from the Storm Prediction Center here. So for them to go high risk with this means there is extreme extreme confidence that they're going to see significant severe weather in this particular area across eastern Arkansas, even portions of central Arkansas at this current time here. So let me double check real fast here, going everything real fast. For those that are wondering timing, I'm kind of going back and forth between radar and timing right now because everybody's kind of asking between the two of them. So I'll switch back over. That's the wrong graphic. Let me double check that because we already have the high risk out. So let me switch over to our timing real quick. Maybe for just a moment. Okay, and there's your timing. So there's going to be your timing right there. And I'm going to switch it back over between timing and radar. Timing, radar, timing, radar. That's how it's going to be over the next couple of minutes here. So that's going to be your timing real quickly. Let me see here. Let me go over everything real fast. Okay, so yeah, Mark, do not be fooled. Sun is not your friend, especially with days like this. It's not. So DeWitt School District is letting out early today. Let me double check real fast here. Can you send the link? Someone in my my forecasters or my moderators, can you please take care of that, please and thank you. Let me see here. There's your timing map real quickly. Future radar, like I mentioned before, I've kind of talked about that. The Futurecast is just raw computer ball data. That's gonna be your best friend for today. The timing map is gonna be your best friend for right now here. Okay, so let me see here. Double checking right now. Let me see here. Okay, so that's the biggest thing. And Kim, I love this comment. We explain why things are happening, not just toss out information. If you don't like the so-called lectures, don't follow the page. Get it right on the nail, Kim. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it at this point. So why is there still no tornado watch? It will be incoming within the next, I would assume, next hour or two. And it's going to be a PDS. It's going to be a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado watch. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and put this back up on the screen at this point. So that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado watch incoming. The upgrade to high risk has already occurred over there in eastern Arkansas. So that's going to be the situation with that. Should be coming up in the next hour or two at this time here. So, Billy, I love that. Take my warning seriously. Don't wait to prepare, especially in the high risk. This is the first time, just to give you guys a little bit of a caveat. This is the first time that I've covered a high risk in Arkansas. This is my very first time covering in high risk. I've covered many of moderates and enhanced and slight risk. This is my very first high risk here in Arkansas. So this is kind of an interesting caveat for us at this point. Also, very important, if you work for emergency management, you need to contact us immediately. That way we can get you set up and stuff like that, especially on Discord. We would love to hear you guys in terms of like what's going on and everything like that. But if you work for emergency management, please contact us immediately. So, also for those that are wondering about Derek is going to be out chasing today. He's going to be out in the field giving us those on-the-ground reports at this point. So I'm kind of taking the studio today. He's taking the chasing side of this, and also we've got other people that are going to be moderating, forecasting, and stuff like that. So just rest assured that he's 100% okay. But he's going to be managing the chase side of things, and I'm going to be managing the studio side of things for today here. Okay, so let me see here, the tornado threat. And I want to stress, I haven't had a lot of time to kind of update the graphics or anything like that. Basically, I'll put it this way. The thing that you see on your screen right now, this is the categorical risk. So let's go over to the tornado threat here. And I think this is the first time this graphic in particular with our radar software has it. You can see it's very faint. And I'm going to see if I can make that a little clearer for you guys. So bear me for just a little bit. Let me see if I can make that a little clearer for you guys. So that's going to be right in here, okay? So that's the area of concern right there. That's your tornado threat. Your 10% is right here. Your yellow, your red zone's 15. Your pink is a 30. And then over here in western Arkansas, 5, and then the 2 area over there. So there's really haven't been too much of changes to the ongoing risk except for the high risk that has gotten issued for those areas to kind of talk about the tornado threat at this point. As I mentioned before, I haven't had a lot of time to kind of update the graphics or anything at this point. So I'm going to see if I can switch this back over to our thing real fast so you guys can see what we're talking about. So that is basically this is your tornado threat for today over here. That's going to be your 30 over here. Let me see if I can switch this back over to our tornado real quick. There it is. So there's your tornado threat over here, 30. Your 15 from Little Rock to Pine Bluff, Jonesboro, all the way down to Camden. Then your orange zone is your 10%. Your yellow is a 5. And then over here in far northwestern Arkansas, that is going to be your 2%. That's your very low threat here. I think out of anybody in Arkansas, far northwestern Arkansas may escape from this severe weather outbreak for today here. That's like over there in that little green area from like Crawford County to Washington and over to western Benton County. That might be the area of concern over the area of may not see much over here in far northwestern Arkansas, but everywhere else, that's where you're going to have the threat for seeing significant severe weather as we get towards the day here. Okay, so let me double check real quickly at this time here. Let me see here, going over everything at this point. Derek's going to stay safe. He like I said before, he's going to be fine. Let me see here. Going over everything. So, yeah, okay. So, I realized that. I apologize. I know it was still on the timing map. It switched over here. So, like I said, I'm kind of going back and forth between radar and the timing map. So, there's going to be your timing map. I don't know why it keeps switching back over to this. So, let me go back over to that. So, I'm going to leave it with that. That's going to be fine. There's your timing map for today here, okay? So, let me see here. We'll check real fast here. Dew point's already 67 degrees up there in Jonesboro. Very, very muggy across the area here. So, yeah, many people don't even realize what is happening. Share this video. That's the number one thing. Spam it. Spam this video out. Spam our page. Get whatever needs to be done, folks, because right now, this is urgent. This is life-threatening across the board. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued for our folks up here in northern Arkansas. So we're going to go ahead and double-check that real fast here. And this is going to go, let me see if I can switch this back over. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning up here. That's going to go for Marion and Baxter County. That's way up here in northern Arkansas. This is going to go until 12:30, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. Also, one more thing I want to stress to you guys too. These storms are going to be coming at you at 60 to 70 miles per hour today. They're not going to be your 20 to 30 mile per hour movers. They're going to be coming at you at 60 miles per hour. So your reaction needs to be just as fast as the storms that are coming at you. That's a mile a minute, by the way. So make sure that you are staying prepared today. Very, very urgent situation for our folks here in Arkansas. So I'm going to zoom this out. There's a severe thunderstorm warning up there that's quickly going into southern Missouri at this point. But you've kind of noticed how everything is just steadily calm across the state. You've got a few showers, see thunderstorms trying to go up across western Arkansas. You had a few warnings here and there, but notice how everything is just calm right now. Calm before the storm. That's what we got at this point. So, let me see here. I love this comment as well. Best weatherman in the state. Thank you so much for that. I take very, very strong pride in what I do for my folks in Arkansas. So, let me see here. We'll change real quickly. Steven, love having Cameron in the studio. Very best coverage available in Ashley County. I say I take great pride in what I do. I love it. I absolutely love it. So, let me see here. Charge your phones. Summer, great comment. Charge your phones. Charge your phones. Charge your phones. That's the biggest thing at this point. So, let me see here. Double checking everything. By the way, what I'm going to do is while everything's calm, I'm going to wait for this severe thunderstorm warning to get off the board. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to switch this over, since everything's calm right now, to continuous live stream coverage. I'm going to attempt to try to have this on Facebook. If it doesn't work on Facebook, go over to YouTube immediately. And then what I will do, as a matter of fact, what I'll do is on YouTube, it'll be continuous. And Facebook, what we're going to do, since there's a big ag-rilla problem on Facebook, if there's tornado warnings, or I'm going to be honest with you, if there's severe thunderstorm warnings with a tornado possible tag, I'm live. I'm live, and I'm going to be here. So that's what we're going to do, but I'm going to wait until this storm is going to be off the board first before I do that at this point, okay? So for those that are wondering, for that storm that's coming out of the Mena area, this is non-severe. This is only producing 40 to 50 mile per hour winds. It's moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. It's going to be moving into Yell County, Perry County, northwestern Garland, and northern Montgomery County before too much longer here, okay? So let me see here. We're checking right now. At this point, yeah, the storm is calm, but I am not. I understand that, folks. Biggest thing is, one thing right now, you need to have a game plan ready to go. Okay, so YouTube will play over everything else that you're doing on your phone. I love that. That's why YouTube is superior over Facebook. I'm just going to put that right now. YouTube is very, very, very supportive over Facebook at this point, but that doesn't mean we're not going to be on Facebook. We're going to have coverage, but Facebook has just way too many issues right now, whereas if YouTube, it has that beautiful software and everything like that here, okay? So let me see here. Get a map on Google under counties. We're going to have that posted here coming up here just a little bit. I'm a dispatcher in Central Arkansas. Watch out for information. Thank you for providing the great coverage. Madison, thank you for your service. Let me see here. A tornado can pop down from any of these, and they will eventually have wicked hell with them. Yeah, so what we're waiting right now, and I'm gonna take this off for just a little bit, and the reason why we are not seeing these storms going tornadic immediately. Let me see if I can get over to. It is going to be your surface SIN, and there it is. Should be coming up here in just a little bit, okay? So these kind of strange colors that you're seeing on the board, this is a capping inversion. This is the worst thing possible that you want to see whenever you're dealing with severe weather. Basically what's going on, it's keeping everything from going severe, except for northwestern and northern Arkansas at this point. But it's keeping everything from popping off and going severe at this point. This will erode by 2-3 o'clock this afternoon. That's why I think your threat is going to be significantly higher by the time you get towards 2 to 3 o'clock this afternoon at this point. So this is what's holding everything back right now. This is your capping inversion across the board. I know it looks strange on paper, but that is your capping inversion across the board right now here. So I kind of wanted to explain that at this point. But there's your current radar at this time. And like I said before, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have continuous coverage, by the way, on YouTube. Granted that we have a high risk, I'm not playing music on the background of this. It's going to be dead quiet. I may try to throw a little bit of music here and there, but it's going to have continuous coverage, and also those graphics are going to be updated every so often. So radar's going to be playing while I'm updating the graphics. I'm waiting for this severe thunderstorm warning to get canceled before I do that at this point. One of my moderators, if you could take care of that YouTube link, thank you very much. At this point, let me see here, what time would it come into eastern Arkansas? Let's switch this back over. I don't know why it keeps doing that. What we're going to do, give me 1 second, and I will take care of this issue at this point. So we're going to go over to timing, and we're going to put you at the very top, okay? There's your timing. Okay, so there's your timing at this point. Eastern Arkansas, 6 o'clock, 6 to 10 p.m. Right now, you need to have a game plan ready to go at this point. Preston, I fully agree with your comments here. Okay, so I've got you up, and I'm still texting while listening. Donna, do me a favor. She lives in Arkansas County. Stay with me today. I'm probably, if there's a warning go out for your area, I'm probably going to blow your phone up. She's a real good personal friend of mine. So folks, make sure that you are staying in contact with your family and friends today. It's a very dire situation, especially for our folks in Central and Eastern Arkansas. But the very first time that I'm covering a high risk for much of Eastern Arkansas at this point, there's your timing for right now. And it's fitting pretty decently from our ongoing time map. You know, over there in Western Arkansas, we've had you guys at about 11 o'clock. That's what's been going on. So it's doing pretty good with this timing map at this point, but I may go in and tweak it while it's kind of like in a continuous live stream on here in just a little bit. But I'm waiting for that severe thunderstorm warning to get off the board before we do that here. So who's on schools are dismissing early? Gotta know if I know the Perigo area and stuff like that. I have to watch it out. Don't forget your pets. Bring them in. A lot of dogs and cats can run off when being frightened by thunder. There you go. Love that comment as well. Got to protect our four-legged paws at this point, guys. So let me see here. Let me do everything real fast. Don't be scared. Be prepared. I love it. Love it, guys. That's the biggest thing. You know, be sure to pack all your medications and stuff like that. This is the first time, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I am a little nervous. You know, I'm a little nervous for my folks over in Eastern Arkansas. This is the first time that I've covered a high risk as the history of this page. You know, we had that little one down here in 2021 in Ashley and Chico County, but it was mainly Mississippi. This one is going to be for much of Arkansas, much of Eastern Arkansas. So this is the very, very first time here. So, folks, Take my wording seriously, guys. Make sure that you have a game plan here at this point here. Okay, so let me double check real quickly here. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, if you want to do that, do it. Let me know, and I'll pull it up. As long as you're respectful with it and it's life-saving, go ahead. Because if you were there during the Valorian storm back in 2014 and you learned some stuff that may be life-saving, do it. Please do it, and I'll pull it up on the comments here in just a little bit. There's the Discord link. Kim has got it on YouTube. One of my moderators on Facebook. If you could put it on Facebook, I please and thank you. Fill your gas tanks up just in case of power outages. We'll have to watch that very, very closely. Let me see here. Yeah, I do see the Torcon. That was from the Weather Channel. We don't do Torcons here, but it is a 9 at this point. So, yeah, the severe thunderstorm warning is going to continue up there in northern Arkansas at this current time. Let me see here. How high is the risk up there in northeastern Arkansas? You're in a moderate. I know what happened is, the high risk got issued, and it kind of took priority over the moderate risk. Don't do that, folks. Don't be risk biased. Everybody's in the same boat, except for my folks over there in far northwestern Arkansas. Have a game plan ready to go today. Stay aware. Stay prepared. Be proactive. Warning gets issued, react. Don't try to wait for the tornado to come to you. Don't do anything like that. Make sure you stay prepared. Like I said before, this risk is worse than the one we just got through dealing with last week. If that tells you anything, this one's way worse than the one we just got through dealing with last week. So if that kind of gives you some sort of perspective on how urgent this is at this current time here, okay? So like I said, for folks, we don't do Torcons here. That's a Weather Channel product. I don't do it here at Arkansas Weather Watchers, okay? So let me see here, going over everything right now. Let me see here, I'm not sure why my comment was removed. I don't know why either. That may have been a Facebook thing, or one of my moderators may have done it by accident. I do apologize for that. They're probably trying to get to one, and they may have accidentally did it. And now we're gonna have to watch this one down here in in Sevier in Howard County. Severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible down here in southwestern Arkansas. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch this back over. We're going to go over to our thing real fast here. Let me get in contact with my team real quickly here. But we have our new severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible now for our folks in DeQueen, the Derricks area. That is in northern Howard County and northern Sevier County. So if you know anyone in this particular area, go ahead and tell them to take their tornado precautions immediately. So this is the first one on the board. As of right now, you need to make sure you have a game plan ready to go at this point. So give me just 1 second. Let me double check real quick. And I'm going to put a track. While I have this up, I'm going to put a track on the storm. So it's going to be right in here. So it'll be northeast at 56 miles per hour. Okay, so I'm going to change the color of that real quickly. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to change the color of that real fast. And like I said before, we're going to have to watch the situation very, very closely. But now we have a high risk for severe weather here. But down there in southwestern Arkansas, we're going to watch that closely down here. So we're going to switch this to, I'm going to put it with this color real quickly. That's going to be for the track at this time here, okay? So this storm right in here, we're going to have to watch it right in here. It's going to move northeast at about 56 miles per hour right through here. That's going to be the area of concern right in there. So the Derricks area, the Daisy area, and the Glenwood area. If you know any one of these areas, tell them to go ahead and take their tornado precautions immediately. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible. So what does that mean? That means this is a regular severe thunderstorm warning, and it is capable of producing a tornado at any given moment. So watch this situation closely. That is right there near the DeQueen area. Let me double check, make sure that this is Little Rock's radar. That is Little Rock's radar at this point. It is tornado possible at this current time here, okay? So right through here, let me see if I can double click on that. Severe thunderstorm warning until 12:15. 60 mile per hour winds, quarter size hail, and a tornado is possible with this storm here. We do not have any sort of watches out right now. I'm fairly certain that's going to change within the next, I'd say 30 minutes to an hour or so. But we're going to watch the situation very, very closely here at this point. There's a rotation indicator right in here. There's your broad rotation beginning to develop over here near DeQueen. Now, I will say this, as the storm moves northeast, it is going to encounter the remnant capping inversion, so this storm should not last too much longer in this area. However, if you're in Daisy or you're in the Glenwood area, go ahead, take those tornado precautions just to be on the safe side. Nothing wrong with that, especially whenever you're dealing with a severe thunderstorm warning at this point. But yes, the severe thunderstorm warning is tornado possible. There's the track of the storm at this time. It's going to go right for Dirks, for the Daisy area, and over towards Glenwood at this point. Folks, do me a big favor. Spam this live stream on your news feed right now. Like I said before, I've got a total of 1,000 people. I know a lot of people are still at work and stuff like that, which is perfectly fine. But spam this live stream out. Make sure they're getting this information. That way no one is missing out on this. But there's your area of concern right here. What I'm going to do is our new product. I'm going to use our gate-to-gate wind shear at this point. Right now, it is not centered right here on the area of rotation, which would be right over the Queen. However, we're going to watch the situation closely at this point. But the Queen area, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Also Daisy, and also the Glenwood area over here as well. That is in northern Pike County, far northwestern Clark, and southeastern Montgomery at this point. And going into, this is probably going to head right into southwestern Garland County at this current time here. So watch the situation closely. We're going to have to keep an eye on this situation very, very quickly here, okay? So we're going to go back over to our radar right over here. That's going to be near to the Queen area. There's the newest update at this point, but this is severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible at this current time. And like I mentioned before, stay proactive. You see these warnings, you see these severe thunderstorm warnings that go out, stay proactive. You know, hey, it doesn't have to be a screaming red box or a screaming pink box or anything like that to get your attention. If it's a severe thunderstorm warning, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. That's the biggest thing I want to stress to you guys at this current time here, okay? So let me double check something real quickly here. Let me go over to him real fast here. Let me see here. Okay. Alright, so we're good. Let me double check my chasers real fast at this point. Okay, so they're going to continue to severe thunderstorm watch. Not severe thunderstorm watch, severe thunderstorm warning. We're checking everything right now. Okay, so I'm not really seeing too much in the way of reports at this point, which is awesome. Ton of wind energy coming in northwestern Arkansas behind the front, unseasonably warm and sunny up there in northwestern Arkansas at this time. And also one thing, the wind is going to pick up in the front of this at this current point as well. But this is the ongoing severe thunderstorm warning down here. That's going to be for the severe, the Howard County area, northern Pike, southern Montgomery County, and far northwestern Clark County at this current time. And so I'm going to let this loop over at this point. And you can see, like I said before, there's your storm right in here. I'd give it probably, we'll have to watch and see what ends up happening. There is a capping inversion in place. Let me see if I can get this up and show you guys what we're looking at here. Okay, so there's a capping inversion right now. So this is where that storm is going straight into that capping inversion that is in place across Pike and the Garland County area. So I'll be very curious to see what they end up doing, what the storm ends up doing in that kind of environment. We're not quite ready just yet. We will get there this afternoon and into this evening. However, we'll have to watch the situation very, very closely at this point. But there's the tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning at this point. Northern severe, northern Howard County, and into Pike County at this current time here. So there's the current radar for those that are wondering. This is live footage, live radar updates right now. This is it. This is about as live as you can get at this point. So there's the current radar at this time. I don't know if you guys are not seeing it over there. You may have to refresh or anything. But this is current radar at this point. I'm going to zoom this out and kind of show you guys what's going on. There's your storms beginning to develop right in here. Okay, none of these storms outside of southwestern Arkansas are severe, but we're going to monitor this situation very closely. We're still watching the one up here in northern Arkansas at this current time. This one's going to go from Marion and up towards northern Baxter County, and that's going to quickly move into southern Missouri. So if you know anyone in the West Plains area, or the Mountain View area, which is in Missouri, by the way, watch the storm very, very closely. However, this is moving out of Arkansas at this point. So we're going to zoom it right back down. We'll leave it right here in southwestern Arkansas. This is the next warning on the board. This is going to go until 12:45 this afternoon at this point. Lots of rain beginning to develop in Yale County, in the Montgomery County, and this storm right in here. That's where your area of concern is going to be. Let's go back over to our rotation indicator real fast. It's going to be right in here, right there. There's your area of concern right here. That's going to be just to the northeast of the Queen and southeast of Gilham or just to the west of Dirks at this point, right in here, where you see your green and your red combined. As a matter of fact, give me just 1 second. I'm going to go over to our rotation indicator real quick, and there it is. Okay, so it's going to be right in here. That's where the area of concern is going to be. That's why it's tornado possible. It's going to be right there. It's going to be just just northeast of the Queen, west of Dirks, north of Locksburg, and I'd give it just south and east of Polk County, Polk, over here in southwestern Arkansas. This is in Sevier County right now. This is going to move into Howard County within the next, I'd say, 15 to 20 minutes at this point. But that's going to be the area of concern at this current time here. And also, one thing I'm stressing you guys right now, patience. Patience, 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 patience. I'm seeing the comments right now. Patience is going to be your best friend for me today. You're going to have to remain patient with me, okay? I understand. I know everybody's trying to get their questions answered, stuff like that. I get it. I know anxiety is through the roof, but patience is going to be a virtue with me today. That's going to be it. It's going to be patience or nothing with me today, guys, because we got a lot going on at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a track right through here. I'm going to put it at about 45 miles per hour. So there it is right there, Daisy, the Glenwood area, and then the Abney area over here. We're going to have to watch the situation very, very closely at this point. This is going to continue to move off towards northeast. I clock it at about 55 to 60 miles per hour. So it's going to be moving towards the Pike County area, the Clark County area, the Southern Montgomery County area, and then this is going to move into the Garland area and also the Hot Spring County area before too much longer here. Now, folks that are asking about, when is the cap going to break? It's going to happen this afternoon. It's going to happen about that 2-3 o'clock time frame this afternoon, and that's when the storms are really going to start to take off across the area here. So that's going to be the area of concern right in here. It's going to move towards Pike County, towards the Clark County area, and also the Montgomery County area at this current time here. So take this seriously, folks. It doesn't have to be a tornado warning to take it seriously at this current time here, okay? So just double checking everything at this point. Right now, like I said before, I'm not seeing anything in terms of the new watch or the warning, a new watch or anything right now, which is awesome, but we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening with that. But there's this tornado possible, severe thunderstorm warning that's going to go for Sevier, Howard, and Pike County at this current time here, okay? So I'm going to leave this on the board. We're going to go back over to our radar, and I'm going to loop the radar real fast so you guys can kind of get a visual on what we're looking at here, okay? So that's Sevier, that's Howard, that's Pike County, and that's also here. We also have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to go up here. Now, this one up here is a little different. This one is going to go for the potential of wind. 70-mile-per-hour winds coming into the Yell County area, the Pope County area, POPE, and Conway, and the western and northwestern Perry County at this current time. So have to watch this closely at this point, but this is mainly a wind threat, so you're getting a combination of both the tornado threat and also the damaging wind threat with this as well. So something that we're going to monitor very closely at this point. That's that Yell, Perry, Conway County, Pope County, POPE, near the Russellville area along Interstate 40 at this current time here, okay? So we're going to zoom this out at this point, all right, and we're going to take a look at this. And just taking a look at everything right now, there's your storm going into northern Arkansas. That's going to go into southern Missouri. And Nordis, over here in eastern Arkansas, that's gone. Our attention now turns to these storms over here that are quickly going severe across western Arkansas. So severe thunderstorm warning, Sevier, Howard County. And also we have the severe thunderstorm warning that's going to go for Yell, Perry, Conway, and Pope County over here at this current time here. At this time, we're going to watch the situation very, very closely. I'm double checking everything at this time. Let me see here. Okay, so there it is at this point. There's new severe thunderstorm warning that's going across the board right now. That issue's been taken care of. Yell, Perry, Conway, and Pope County, and then Sevier and Howard County down here. That's going to be the two areas of concern that we're going to have to watch very closely at this current point. All right, so let me see here, going everything. By the way, my voice is fine. Don't worry about me. We're good at this point. Just kind of taking out everything at this point. There's your radar at this current time. You've got to know where you live, folks. You have to. There's timing maps all over the place at this point. This is what we've got, okay? This is the current radar at this point. All the counties on here as well. Folks, if you don't know where your county are, if you don't know where your county is, you have to get in contact with somebody. A closed mouth is never hurt, okay? That's the biggest thing I'm stressing you guys right now. You've got to know where you live. Folks, if you don't know where your counties are, tell somebody, and they will quickly answer your question. But don't go out today and say, hey, I don't know where I live. Okay, you gotta tell somebody. Ask someone, hey, what county am I in? That way you know what to do if there's a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning at this current time here. Okay, so let me double check everything real quickly here. You got a severe thunderstorm warning for Polk County as well. Just double checking everything right now. And what I may end up doing, I may have radar just kind of scrolling through this area here while this is going, since we don't have any ongoing tornado warnings. And what I'm gonna do is, if you guys are patient with me, I can try to get the graphics out real quickly on my side, because I do have another computer over here, and I'm going to attempt to try to get the graphics out on Facebook for those that are trying to wonder at this point here. But just kind of looking at everything right now, there's the current radar at this point. There it is right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it on this screen for just a little bit. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be on this screen over here, and I'm going to be doing some graphics and stuff like that, kind of getting the updates out on Facebook. So if you can bear me for just a little bit, I can get that taken care of. So bear me for just a second. I'm going to let that load up, and we're going to get that taken care of here. So if you're paying attention on Facebook, we're going to have this up and going. Give me 1 second. Let me stop the radar for just a moment. Now, obviously, if a tornado warning does get issued, I will be here. We'll be watching this stream closely. Also, I'm keeping in contact with the chasers, and I'm keeping in contact with everybody else at this point. So give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get this up and going at this point here. So I have to move it over to this computer, and we're going to get this up and going for you guys here, okay? So it's going to be this one. Give me 1 second here. And like I said before, we're going to take care of that. Also, pay attention to the page today. That's the biggest thing I'm stressing you guys right now. Pay attention to the page. You gotta know where you are, and what I'm gonna do on the page is I'm gonna make everything county based. There's not gonna be any cities on our current graphics that are coming up, because I know a lot of people are kind of trying to wonder, where the counties are and stuff like that. So everything that's gonna be coming up here just a little bit is going to be county based here. So give me just 1 second. We're gonna get this up. The timing map, I would say the timing map is probably going to be a solid at the time, because I think it's going to be pretty good in terms of where everything's been and everything like that here. So I'll do that. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. So right here. So I'll take care of this while we don't have any ongoing tornado warnings on the board. So let me go over to this, and I think we're good to go. All right, yep, we're good. Alright, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to leave this up. Like I said before, I am going to be moderating comments and stuff like that, and also kind of taking a look. This is my tablet right here. All your comments and stuff are coming through here. So I'm monitoring everything, and I'm probably going to be answering questions while I'm doing the graphics as well. So I think this computer over here is now in what we call tornado warning coverage mode. So we're going to leave it with that, and I'm going to let the radar just kind of stream by. And like I said before, I'm going to be answering questions while I do the coverage over here. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to double check everything real quickly. YouTube, if you can get to that real fast, let me know. This is not a laughing situation. If you want to act like a kid, you're going to get treated like a kid today. So let me see here. What do you think about the Jonesboro area? I would think that you guys have that threat of seeing tornadoes over there in northeastern Arkansas. We'll have to watch the situation very closely over there in northeastern Arkansas as we get towards this evening and into tonight. Let me double check everything real quick. I gotta go back over to this real fast, and that's gonna be it real quick. So we're gonna go over to the risk, and like I said before, I think the timing map that we have right now is a solid on the page. As a matter of fact, I can have this up and going for just a second. So that timing map that you guys see right there, I think that's going to be a solid for today. I think that's going to be it in terms of everything that's going on right now here. So I'm going to go over to this real quick, and we're going to wait. I have to wait for this to load up on our side over here. But I'm going to update the graphics and stuff like that for those that are trying to figure out what's going on. There it is right there. So we're going to go ahead and do this. First time ever in the history of Arkansas Weather Watchers that I'm having to put a high risk on our graphics here, but to kind of give you guys a perspective of what's going on, this is something that we're going to have to continue to monitor very, very closely. But those are storms ongoing right now, so before monitoring those, tornado warning does get issued, the alert bar is going to go off, and then I will have that information for you guys during the live stream here. So technically what you guys are seeing right now is continuous coverage. This is going to be something that's going to be continuous for the time period here. So if I do go quiet, I do apologize. But for right now that we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings on the board, I'm going to let those scroll through. One is tornado possible. I'm keeping a very close eye on that storm near Howard County right now. If that does go to a warn, I will be here immediately. So what I want you guys to do, if you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, share this out. That way if a tornado warning does get issued, I'm already live. I'm already here, and you guys can just join in at this point, okay? So there's the time map for today. I think the time map is a pretty good solid. Just kind of reevaluating everything right now. I think the time map is going to be a pretty good solid at this point. Let me see if I can go over to the SPC Outlook real fast. We're going to have that information up for you guys at this time. And like I said before, there's the high risk area over here. And we're going to have this information up for you guys coming up here in just a little bit here. So make sure you're staying with us today, guys. What I may end up doing, if the severe thunderstorm warnings does drop off the board, what we'll end up doing is we'll drop off on Facebook for a second, keep YouTube going, and then if there's a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible, then we'll jump back on the live stream as quickly as possible here. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to be working on some stuff over here. So like I said, if I do go quiet, I do apologize. Why is there not a tornado watch out? I'm monitoring that too. Right now, I don't think they've gotten a chance to get it out. I'm pretty sure our boys and gals at Storm Prediction said, okay, there it is. All right, that's gonna be up there in Iowa, the Illinois area, and up there towards Missouri. So that's that part 1 of the severe weather outbreak. That's a particularly dangerous situation up there. I'm monitoring to see what they're going to do here in Arkansas, but I'm pretty certain it's going to be coming up here in just a little bit. So let me see here. Let me do this real quickly here. So that's going to be today's severe weather outlook at this time. And we're going to take a look at everything at this point right now. I'm going to update this for the 12 o'clock, it's about 12:25. So if you're on Facebook right now and you're trying to figure out what's going on, stay with me for just a little bit. I'm going to get those graphics updated for you guys at this point. It will not take me no more than about 10 minutes. I'm also going to keep an eye on those storms over there as well. If it does go tornado warning, I'll keep an eye on it at this point. So let me see here. Just going over everything right now. I do believe, yeah, there's the high risk over there. Like I said before, this is the first time I've had to cover a high risk here in Arkansas in the history of the page here. So let me go over this. That's going to be timing. I'm just kind of evaluating your timing map right now. I think we're solid on the timing map right now here. So for those that are trying to figure out timing, that's going to be it. We're going to switch this right back over to our radar so you guys can see that at this time here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on your graphics here. So your time zone is going to go off. Okay, that's going to go off as well. We're going to have first time ever high risk being used on our graphics. That is insane. I think what they ended up doing, just kind of looking at everything compared to earlier, I think they ended up moving the moderate risk down into southern Arkansas. So that's going to be that for that. And yeah, I said before, let's see here, we'll go ahead and do this. And then do that. And like I said before, just kind of drawing everything out right now. And we're going to have this updated on the page coming up here in just a little bit. Since there wasn't too big of a change to the moderate, this should not take too much. This shouldn't take too long to do, and I do believe it's going to be just like that. There we go. All right, so there's going to be your moderate risk right there, and then your tornado threat, your high risk right over here. That's going to be your high risk right here. It's going to go for areas right through here. It's going to go over to right here. Go over this real fast. Like I said before, if I do go quiet, I do apologize. I just realized something too. That high risk is extremely close to Little Rock. Honestly, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I wouldn't be shocked they may try to push this a little bit further to the east with the next update. But it's going right through here, and there it is. Alright, so that's going to be your high risk at this point. This is going to be coming up on the page here just shortly. Alright, and for those that are going to be wondering, this is going to be county based. It's not going to have any cities or anything like that. It's going to be just counties. There's a lot of people that are trying to figure out, you know, where's the counties and stuff like that. You know, where's everything at. So there's going to be just counties at this point here. Okay, so double checking everything right now. We're still severe thunderstorm warning. Tor Pass over there, southwestern Arkansas. Reason why it doesn't have a track up right now is because I'm busy doing this over here. Just kind of updating everything at this point. So I intended to do this before the severe thunderstorm warnings kind of got started. However, that one in particular did go Tor Pass. So we're going to have to watch the situation very, very closely over there in southwestern Arkansas. Moderate risk, there's your slight risk. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and save that over here. And we're going to get this up on the page immediately. So that's going to be it right here. And what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start breaking down your tornado threat at this point as well. So those that are trying to figure out, just give me 1 second, remain patient with me, and we'll get that information here, okay? So we'll check everything at this point. Let me see here. Tornado watch coming from almost all of Arkansas at this time. Thank you, Dustin, very much for that information here. And I'm fairly certain that's going to be a particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch here. So Dustin, thank you so much for that. We're going to have that information coming up here just shortly at this point. So I'm going to switch this over to this. But for those that are trying to figure out what's going on, I'm currently leaving the radar up. Not really doing too much right now in terms of radar, but I am over here on this other computer giving you guys like the latest information on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook right now, monitor your news feed, and you're going to have the latest information coming out here just shortly here. So give me just 1 second, and we're going to have this information up for you guys here. So the tornado threat is going to be similar to the high-risk area. First time ever, said before, on the page that we've gone 30 with this. And the graphic that you guys saw yesterday, for those that are going to be in the high-risk area, you're getting a 10 out of 10 for that. And we just now got a new tornado watch that's just been issued for much of the area at this point. Let me double check and see that real fast here. I'm going to go over to Mbot real quickly, double check the tornado watch. And yes, we do have a new tornado watch, almost all of Arkansas. It goes until, give me 1 second. New tornado watch has just been issued. I'm going to go ahead and get this up and going for you guys. At this point, we switch this over to this. And there it is. There it is, folks. There's the particularly dangerous situation tornado watch at this point. So there's the watch right here. I'm going to go ahead and go back over to this. And there it is. A particularly dangerous situation tornado watch for almost all of Arkansas. And this is going to go until 8 p.m. this evening. So repeat, we have a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch, PDS tornado watch. And it's going to go for all of Arkansas, regardless of where you are. If you're at a slight risk, if you're in the enhanced, if you're in the moderate, or you're in the high risk. Particularly dangerous situation tornado watch, and it's going to go until 8 o'clock this evening. The potential of significant tornadoes. Some of those tornadoes could be long tracked. Very, very concerning situation coming up at this point. But to repeat, we have a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch that is now in effect from much of Arkansas until 8 o'clock this evening, regardless of where you are on the risk. That's the slight risk, that's the enhanced, that's the moderate, and that's the high risk areas here at this current time here. So that's something that we're going to continue to monitor here. But that's going to be the new tornado watch at this point. It's going to go until 8 o'clock this evening here. And yes, that is a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch here. So I'm going to get that up for you guys coming up here just shortly here as well. So bear with me for just a little bit here. Alright. And I'm going to get this up and going. And yeah, that is a particularly dangerous situation. I'm pretty sure everybody just got the alert about it. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can go over this real quick. And there we go. Okay, so I'll take care of that. That's going to be fine. And there it is right here. Okay, so there's going to be the tornado watch coming up. So give me just 1 second. This is going to be a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado watch. So tornado watch. I believe this is going to be... Give me 1 second. It's going to be tornado watch number 94. Goodness gracious, we're already up to 94 and we're just now into the end of end of March. Excuse me. It's gonna go until 8 p.m. Tonight, and like I said before, this is a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado watch at this point here. So just give me 1 second. Let me switch this over, and we're gonna go over to this. Okay, strong, long track, and potential violent tornadoes will be on the table for today here, guys. This is a very, very dangerous situation incoming at this point. So give me just a second to get this loaded up, and we're going to have all that information for you guys at this point. But to repeat, this is a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado watch is going to be incoming here shortly. Let me go over to our map here. It's going to be coming up on SBC stuff here just a little bit here. So we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to go for Pope, Van Buren, and also northwestern Conway County here. That's going to go, give me 1 second here. It's going to balance in between the two. That's going to go until 1:15. Okay, so that's severe thunderstorm warning over here. This one's going to go until 1 o'clock. They did drop the tornado possible tag with this. That's awesome. So we just now have regular severe thunderstorm warnings in these areas here, but we're going to continue to monitor this situation very, very closely here. So bear with me for just a little bit. Let me see if I can get this up and going. There it is right there. So this is a particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch. And let me see if I can get this up. 1 second here. Like I said, I'm gonna have the radar just kind of going at this point. There's the watch. We're gonna go ahead and take this off the screen because you guys are gonna get it here just shortly on the page. Okay, and there it is. Okay, so those that are wondering why I'm not answering questions right now, I'm a very busy man. I'm a very busy man right now trying to get everything updated, and as before, staying in communication with our chase team at this time. Let me see here. Go over the roads. There we go. County selection, and like I said before, this is gonna go for much of Arkansas. I mean, boy. When you talk about a risk, yeah, a major severe weather outbreak from the Storm Prediction Center here, guys. So, numerous tornadoes, several intense long track tornadoes, some hurricane force winds, and also baseball-sized hail, man. That is ridiculous. That is crazy to have a tornado watch like that at this point. So, it's going to be coming up here in just a little bit. I'm still wondering about the areas. Let me see if I can get this up real quickly here. Okay, so let me see something real quickly. Let me go over to this. We're gonna have this up, and there you are. Okay, all right, so there's the watch. All right, it's gonna be coming up here just shortly on the page. Okay, and we're gonna do this. So give me just 1 second. We go over to this. There we go, and it's gonna go. Oh man, that is a lot of real estate across Arkansas for the particularly dangerous situation tornado watch. So, give me just 1 second. Let me get this up and going. And like I said before, I'm monitoring everything right now. So, folks, I'm kind of not answering questions right now. I'm kind of live streaming. This is your continuous coverage. If you want to be technical, this is your continuous coverage across both Facebook and YouTube. You guys are just kind of seeing me working behind the scenes right now. Getting everything up and going while everything is still somewhat quiet. So that is a lot of real estate that is in place across the area here. So that is all of eastern Arkansas that is in it. Very, very dangerous situation, folks. You got to be aware today of this situation. So there it is. Let me see here. Let's go to this, and we're gonna do this real fast. Okay. So there it is. Okay. That's the particularly dangerous situation tornado watch. Alright, and it's going to be coming up here just a little bit. Let me do that. That's going to be right here. Okay, and we're going to go over to this, and we're going to take care of that. And there we go. Alright, so there it is right there, folks. It's going to be coming up on the page in a matter of seconds. I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and go high for this. I'm gonna switch this over here because I don't think that was the correct one. So we're gonna take this down. Okay, so give me 1 second here. Okay, so there's that. Okay, better tornadoes. I'm gonna go ahead and just go high. over here. Yeah, threat of tornadoes is high. I do believe your hail threat is going to be high as well. Let me see something real fast here. Okay, so there it is. Yeah, threat of tornadoes is high. EF2 plus is high, and then your severe wind is going to be a moderate. So, give me just 1 second. Double check everything real fast. At this point, okay, here. That should be the same thing. Okay, that's fine. All right, so yeah, there's threat of tornadoes high. Your large hail is going to be a moderate, and then your wind threat is going to be a moderate across the board. Several lone tract and strong lone tract and potentially violent tornadoes will be possible across the risk area here for today. See if we can get this going. Yep, that's going to be it. And it's going to get posted on the page here just 1 second at this time. Also, okay, so we are watching those other severe thunderstorm warnings at this point. Montgomery, Pike, Clark, Hot Spring, and also Garland County over there. I'm going to stop the radar for just a moment. Let me go over this. That's going to go into 1 o'clock as well. That one's going to move towards the metro coming up here in just a little bit at this point. So I'm going to switch this back over at this current time. And like I said before, folks, if you're just now tuning in, make sure that you're staying with us today. All right, that's going to be the tornado watch at this point. This is a particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch. Bear me for just a little bit. Let me see if I can get this going for our folks over here at this current time here. Okay, so for those that are wondering, it's going to get posted on the page. Let's do this. PDS tornado watch. This watch is going to go. This is the tornado watch. Give me 1 second here. Goes until 8 p.m. Arkansas. And monitoring constant updates. Okay. Alright, so like I said before, folks, we're going to continue to monitor the situation very closely here. This is the ongoing tornado watch at this current time. Maybe for just a little bit. I'm just kind of coordinating everything between our folks here. Very sunny in Stuttgart right now at this point. We're going to monitor the situation closely. That one in Pike County has my attention in terms of the rotation. If that does go tornado warning, I'm right here and we're good to go at this point. So, maybe for just a minute. Alright. 1 second. Okay. Alright, we're good to go there. Okay, so we're going to go over to this. That's going to be it. It's going to be on the page coming up now. So folks that are on the page, pay attention to the page. It has the latest information regarding the PDS Tornado Watch. It goes until 8 o'clock this evening for our folks here. And what I'm going to do, like I said before, we've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings across the board. What I may end up doing is for Facebook, we may just go straight over to just radar updates. I'm noticing we're having a lot of algorithm problems on Facebook. I may end up doing that and continuing the stream going on YouTube. And then what I will do, and I want everybody to listen to me closely, okay? What I will do is if there's tornado warnings, I will break in to Facebook immediately. If you need constant information, stay with us on YouTube. A lot of people were like, hey, you guys weren't here with the last storm. We are here. We are live. We are not dropping the live stream at this given point, okay? What we're going to do is, while there's severe thunderstorm warnings and none of them are posing a threat for any widespread issues, we're talking considerable damage or tornado warnings or anything like that, we're going to switch this over to YouTube. However, on Facebook, monitor our page today. Tornado warning gets issued, go immediately. Get in the live stream immediately. I will be here. We will have the coverage for you guys here. But like I said before, we are not dropping the stream on YouTube. I want to make that perfectly clear to everybody right now here. So what I'm going to do is on Facebook, it is going to temporarily end. Radar updates are going to be basically spammed on your page today. So keep that in mind. However, any tornado warnings get issued out of any of these storms, I will jump back on Facebook as quick as a heart attack. Okay? So on YouTube, go to YouTube. If you need that constant stream of information, go there. and I promise you guys we're going to continue to keep you guys updated on this situation. But I've got a lot of stuff I got to do on behind the scenes and get all the updates on Facebook and everything like that, so make sure you're doing that. And there it is. There it is. First tornado warning of the day. There it is. There it is right there. Okay, and I'm pretty sure it's going to go for that Pike County storm at this point. So we have a first tornado warning of the day. It's going to be coming up here in just a little bit. And give me 1 second. Where's that tornado warning going to be at this point? So give me just 1 second. Let me double check and see if it's here in Arkansas. It should be coming up here just a little bit. Should be coming up here just shortly. Okay, there's the tornado. There's the tornado warning. It's going to be for the Pike County storm. Okay. All right. So yeah, it's going to be coming up here in just a little bit. There's the tornado warning that's going to be coming up here just shortly. It's going to go for our folks down here in Pike County. The storm I've been monitoring very, very closely here. We're going to continue coverage on this. There it is right there, folks. Okay. There it is. And I know it's not going to pop up here right now, but there's tornado warning right in here. Okay. So you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately if you're in this area. First tornado warning of the day. It's going to go for northern Pike County at this current time here. So let me go ahead and get with NOAA. Let me see. Double check with that real quickly. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So there it is, and there's the tornado warning right there, and there it is right there, folks. Okay. It's going to go for Hot Springs. Going to go for much of Garland County. There's the tornado warning on the board at this point. So coverage is going to continue on Facebook now, since now we have an ongoing tornado warning on the board. Okay, so there it is right in here. National Weather Service in Little Rock has issued a tornado warning for northwestern Clark, southwestern Perry, northwestern Pike, Garland, southeastern Montgomery, and west central Hot Spring County and southwestern Arkansas until 1:15. The potential of a tornado and $half size hail. This is going to go for Hot Springs, Lake Hamilton, Glenwood, Daisy, Norman, much of northern northwestern Clark, also Montgomery, Hot Springs, and Garland counties. If you know anyone in these areas, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point. As you can see, it's clear as day. There's the area of rotation right in here. Let me double check and make sure that we're still streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. So let me double check with that real fast. And we've got folks in. Okay, so what I want you guys to do, I want you guys to spam this live stream right now. We're the first ones on coverage. We've had coverage all morning long, and this is going to continue. So folks in this area, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point. There's the track. Bear me for just 1 second. We're going to get this up and going. There's the track right in here. Okay. So we're gonna take it. I'm gonna clock it at about 60 miles per hour. So the Glenwood area, the Mount Pine area, the Piney area, Hot Springs, and Hot Springs Village. You need to be taking your tornado precautions right now. Get away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Get to the most center and lower portions of your home. If you're in a mobile home, this is the time to react. Remember, this is what I was telling you before. Take those tornado precautions immediately. I've got a lot of people that are in Hot Springs right now. So give me just 1 second. Let me get with someone real quickly, real fast here, and we'll double check if we got our chasers out, stuff like that. But if you know anyone in these areas, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately at this point. Okay, so give me 1 second. There it is. Alright, so there's going to be the track of the storm right in here. Area of rotation is going to be right there, just west and northwest of Daisy. Give me 1 second. Also, there it is. There's the area of rotation. It's going to be just to the southwest of 369 going north. Also, what we're going to do is the area of rotation is going to be right there on 373, and that's going to be West Oldham Road over here. That's going to be in northern Pike County at this point. If you know anybody, anyone in Glenwood, they need to be in shelter now. They need to be getting their tornado precautions in place right now. You have an area of rotation. The environment is very, very conducive to produce tornadoes today. A particularly dangerous situation tornado watch is on the board. We are live. We have a tornado warning on the board. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. I cannot stress that enough at this current time here, okay? So there's the ongoing warning. Hot Springs, this is your time now. You have time on your board. Mount Pine, you have time. Lake Hamilton, you have time. Take your tornado precautions immediately. There's your area of rotation right here. You need to be taking your tornado precautions right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our gate-to-gate product here, and boy, there it is right in there. There's your area of rotation right in here. I'm going to clock it right around. It's going to be about 67 to 68 knots, which is going to put it right around 75 to 80 miles per hour, which is relatively speaking a weak tornado potential within this area here. But that doesn't mean anything. If it's on the ground in this environment, it's going to have the potential of producing strong to potentially violent tornadoes. So if you know anyone in Glenwood, they're on 369 right now, they need to be taking their tornado precautions right now. If you know anyone on Highway 84, they need to be taking their tornado precautions. Anyone on Highway 70, they need to be in shelter immediately. Also, Highway 8, let's go down. There's Highway 70, also 270, 227, and also that's going to be Highway 227 over here. I'll zoom this out so you guys get a perspective. That's going to be 270 over here and 270. And then this is west of Interstate 30 right now. But I would watch it closely, especially for my folks up there in Hot Springs Village, the Lonsdale area, Hot Springs, Lake Hamilton, and also the Mount Pine area in Garland County. So if you know anyone in these areas, they need to be taking their tornado precautions now. Get away from windows, put as many walls to uni size as possible, get to the lowest area of your home immediately. My first alert, it's going to go for my folks in Saline and western Pulaski County. You need to monitor this storm very closely. This could potentially be a long track storm that's going to go right through Garland, Saline, western Pulaski County, and it's going to try to make its way towards Faulkner and towards White County. So that's my first alerts to those counties downstream. Watch this storm very, very closely over the next couple of hours. So watch this up closely. There's the radar. There it is right in here. It is just on the north side of Pike County or on the south side of Montgomery, moving northeast at about, give me 1 second. It's going to be moving northeast at about 60 miles per hour. So Glenwood, Mount Pine, Piney, Hot Springs Village, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately at this point. So I'm double checking everything right now. All right. So I'm double checking everything at this point. We've got tornado that tornado warning on the board. This is what we're watching closely. We're not taking anything away from the severe thunderstorm warnings either for Yale, Perry, Conway, Pope, and Van Buren counties up there. Those are severe thunderstorm warnings. Excuse me. But the tornado warning itself, Montgomery, Pike, Clark, Hot Springs, Garland, those areas, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately at this point. Tornado warning is going to go until 1:15 at this time, and I would not be shocked if they ended up extending this tornado warning into further into Garland and further into Saline County at this current time here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back over to our rotation indicator, and boy, I mean, it is right there. It's clear as day. Let's take a look at our rotation indicator. It's going to be right in here. Give me 1 second. Let me switch this over, and we're going to zoom this down right in here. There it is, folks. I'm going to move this over so you guys get a perspective of where the cities and the location is. But right in here, there it is. Just on the north side of Daisy. There's the area of rotation right in here. Yes, it is broad. However, still take your tornado precautions immediately. That's going to be right there in the Glenwood area. That's also Highway 8 over here as well. Anyone in these areas need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point. Luckily for me, I'm not seeing any reports of damage. Let me double check that real quickly here. I'm not seeing any reports of damage or anything like that, which is amazing news. However, we're going to continue to monitor the situation very, very closely. At this point, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this current time. So let me double check that real quickly. We've got people on here as well. Right now, except for I'm not seeing any sort of damage reports or anything, which is amazing. Let me double check over here, and just to confirm and make sure. Right now, I do believe we're going to be good to go in terms of reports. But I'm double checking at this point, and there's a tornado warning right now. At this moment, I'm not seeing any sort of damage reports. I'm just double checking Twitter right now. Not seeing any damage reports or anything like that, which is awesome. There is an update to the tornado warning at this point. It's moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. I'm going to go ahead and clear this off the board so you guys can see the tornado warning polygon. And there it is right there, okay? So the area of rotation is as clear as day, sticking out like a sore thumb right there in northern Pike County and southern Montgomery County right through here. Garland, you need to be in shelter right now. If you're in Hot Springs, you need to be in shelter right now. If you're in Hot Springs Village, you need to be taking those tornado precautions right now. Don't wait until this storm is in Garland County to take those tornado precautions. You need to be in shelter at this moment. And not only that, but we're also going to have to watch for the hail threat as well, because on the side of the storm, basically how your storm's going, you have your inflow notch that's coming in just like this. Your mesocyclone is going to be right up here. And you can see by the newest update is really hauling towards Garland County. But that's going to be your hail indicator right in here. That's going to be your hail potential in this pink, in this purple core right here coming into Montgomery County. And then that little inflow notch right through here. That's where your potential tornado is going to be at this current time. So anyone in this area, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to unity outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this current point. So we're going to go ahead and switch this back over to our rotation indicator real quick. And there it is. I mean, boy, look at there. That is just to the west of Glenwood. So Glenwood, you need to be hunkered down in that center part of your home, in that lowest part of your home, and in shelter immediately. Anyone that is on 240 or on Highway 8 right now, you need to be in shelter at this point, okay? Also, Oak Grove Road over here, West 815, and also Killian Road over here in northern Pike County and southern, that's along the Pike and Montgomery County. Montgomery's on top, Pike County's at the bottom. There's the area of rotation right in there. I mean, it's clear as day. As clear as day. You can see it. There's the gate-to-gate shear, our product that we use here at Arkansas Weather Watchers, putting it at about 60 miles per hour gate-to-gate at this point, indicative of potential weak tornado at this current time. So, folks, if you know anyone in this area, they need to be in shelter right now. They need to be hunkered down immediately. Anyone that is on Highway 8, if you're traveling out of Glenwood going into Montgomery County, if you're on Highway 8 right now, you need to be in shelter at this moment. You need to get off the highway, find substantial shelter, and get there immediately at this point here, okay? We're going to zoom this out and kind of give you guys a perspective. So 270, watch this storm closely if you're in 270 at this current time here. Something that we're going to continue to monitor very, very, very closely here. I got my Coke bottle right here just in case I need it. So that's going to be right here along, right there along Highway 8, and it's going to be moving into the Garland County area. So if you know anyone in Garland County, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls for unity outside as possible, get to that center part of your home. That's the biggest thing I'm going to tell you guys right now. Get that center part of your home and get there and seek shelter immediately. Also, I do realize something, and this is very concerning. A lot of schools are getting out right now. They're trying to get out as quickly as they can. You know, they're trying to get out, you know, with it being 1 o'clock. A lot of schools were trying to get out at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Folks, if you're trying to get your kiddos, they're gonna put that school on lockdown if there's a tornado warning for the county. So don't worry about trying to get to the school right now. You need to think about your safety. Your safety comes first. Rest assured that the schools have their own protocols and they have their safety plans in place, and your kid is 100% fine, but your safety comes first. You need to take that priority. You need to take those tornado safe. You need to use that tornado safe plan immediately, especially if you're in Montgomery, if you're in western Garland County, or you are in northwestern Hot Spring County at this current time. So right in here, that's where the tornado potential is going to be indicative at this point. Just double checking everything right now. I'm not really seeing anything at this point. Just double checking everything in terms of everything right now. Not seeing any reports of damage and stuff like that, which is amazing. That is awesome news at this time. But as said before, this is the ongoing tornado warning at this point. This is going to continue to move to the northeast at 60 miles per hour. So what I'm going to do is, and not taking anything away from the hail threat. The hail threat's 2-inch in diameter. What I'm going to do is we're going to switch this back over to our rotation indicator, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a track on the tornado potential itself, which is going to be right through here. We're going to clock this at 60 miles per hour going in this general direction. That's going to go for the following: Glenwood, Mount Pine, and Piney. Hot Springs, you're on the north and west. This track is to your north and west. Doesn't mean anything. If you're in downtown Hot Springs right now, you need to be in shelter. You need to be hunkered down. You need to be in that tornado safe spot that we've talked about over the last 48 hours. You need to get there, and you need to get there immediately. Mount Pine, you need to be there right now. Hot Springs Village, you're not in a tornado warning, but I want you in that safe place right now. If you're in Lonsdale, you need to go ahead and seek your tornado precautions. You need to get in that safe spot now as well. But in Glenwood, you need to be there immediately. Hot Springs, you need to be there immediately. Mount Pine, you need to be there immediately. And Piney, you need to be there immediately at this point. Northern Pike County, this is in southern Montgomery, along that Pike County, Montgomery border. There it is right in here. Something that we're going to watch very closely. And you can see with the newest update, they're moving quick. 60 miles per hour. It's moving extremely fast at this point. Now, there is some good news. There is some indication that this is starting to broaden out as it runs into that early day capping inversion across eastern Arkansas, which is amazing. However, it doesn't mean anything. You need to still continue to take your tornado precautions. So we're going to put a track. It's going to go right through here. Okay? Glenwood, Mount Pine, Piney, Hot Springs Village. Hot Springs Village, you're not in a tornado warning right now, but you need to be in your safe spot immediately at this point. And this is going to move into Pulaski County by the time we get towards the 2 o'clock time frame. Let's see what happens by that point. This is going to go on the western side of Pulaski County, so something that we're going to have to watch very, very closely here. But there's the area of rotation in southern Montgomery County and northern Pike County at this time. Watch the situation very, very closely. Like I said before, I'm kind of multitasking right now, double checking on Facebook and on our Twitter feed and on our Discord to make sure we're not seeing any terms of reports. And right now, I do believe we are good to go in terms of, any reports or anything like that. I'm not seeing anything on the ground. However, given the environment and given what is in place, you need to be in shelter, folks. You don't need to be waiting for the tornado to touch down to see what's going to happen. This is a particularly dangerous situation day. It is our SWAT day level 2. You need to be taking your tornado precautions, folks. Tornado warning gets issued. You need to do it immediately at this current time. And so you can see, there it is. There's the area of rotation at this point. And we're going to loop this through. And you're going to see how fast this developed. You can see it's coming out of Howard County, moved into northern Pike County. Now it's going into southeastern Montgomery County. And then it's going to continue to move into Garland County within the next, I'd say, probably 10 to 20 minutes. It's going to move there very, very quickly. This is moving at you at 60 to 70 miles per hour. So you don't have a lot of time to react if you're in this area here. So take your tornado precautions immediately, get away from windows, put as many walls to unity outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately. There's your area of rotation. There's your supercell development already ongoing, and you can see there's your areas of concern. Have to watch this area. You're gonna have to watch this, and in particular, the most dangerous storm of them all right now: Montgomery, Garland, Pike County, Hot Spring County. You need to be in shelter immediately at this current time here. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom this back down. This is going to be the primary storm of the day. At this point, we have officially gone over to our tornado warning coverage at this current time. We're going to go back over to our rotation indicator, and there it is. It's clear as day. It's going to be right there on Highway 8. So Highway 8, you need to be in shelter right now. 270 between Mount Ida and Hot Springs. If you're traveling on 270 right now, I know a lot of people are probably going out for lunch. You're probably just, monitoring the situation and stuff like that. If you don't even go on 270, they need to hunker down. They need to get that center most part of your house and get away from windows and get away from those exterior walls. That's the biggest thing I want to stress to you guys right now. We're going to go back over to our gate-to-gate product. And this product I like using because it gives you an indication of where the area of rotation is going to be. And I'd put it right there. Right over this area, just northwest of Glenwood at this point. And you can see how it's kind of disorganized. The last couple of times I've used this product, it's been that one solid dot where it's been, the area of rotation's been there, the solid tornado potential's been there, but this is kind of disorganized. That's good news because that means that there's no solid center of location of a potential tornado. doesn't mean anything, folks. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean this thing can't develop a tornado at any moment. I'm pretty sure if you were in Glenwood right now or you're on Highway 8, you're probably seeing some sort of wall cloud, possibly a funnel that may try to touch down at any given moment. But folks, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Mount Pine, you need to get there. You need to get there right now. Don't waste any time. Don't try to say, hey, this thing's not on the ground or anything like that. You need to watch this storm very, very, very closely at this current point. So right there in Glenwood, it's going to go right for 270, Mount Pine, Hot Springs area. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately at this current point. So we're going to zoom this out, kind of give you guys a perspective on what we're looking at here, okay? So let me go back over to our rotation indicator. Let me see if I can, give me 1 second. I may have to turn the radar off and back on again real quick, because this has been running all morning long. So let me go back over to this. There it is. There's the rotation, and right through here, and there it is. I mean, boy, look at there. There's your new structure. So basically what's going on is it's getting itself organized, and it's getting itself organized. This is just north and east of Glenwood right now. When you see that little inflow notch right in here, that's where you're going to have to watch very closely. Obviously, all of this up here is going to be your hail threat. That's going to be your hail threat up here. But the tornado threat is going to be right there near that Glenwood area. That's northeast of Glenwood. That's going to be moving towards the Mount Pine area, Highway 227, and Highway 192, and Highway 7 up here towards Hot Springs Village, Mount Pine, and also towards the Hot Springs area at this current time here. So folks in this area, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately at this point here, okay? So there's the area of rotation right here. Just kind of taking a look at everything right now, not seeing any indication of any damage or anything like that. Okay, so breaking news coming in from Mount Pine. For those that are wondering, if you have kids in Mount Pine, all students and staff are securely located in the safe room in Mount Pine at this time. So that is reassuring news. If you're listening to my voice right now and you're trying to figure out the situation in the Mount Pine area, your kids are fine. They're in a safe room at the school. You got to think about your safety. You got to get to that lowest part, the center part of a home or a business, and get away from windows and put as many walls between yourself and this potential tornado as physically as possible here. So area of rotation is going to be right here. Let's go back over to this real quickly. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to do this right through here. All right, and we're going to take care of this real fast, and we're going to do this. Okay, so there's area of rotation right in here, and I'm going to read the latest information with this. So tornado warning for northwestern Clark County has been canceled. The tornado thunderstorm with popular warning has moved out of the warned area, therefore the warning has been canceled. Tornado warning remains in effect until 1:15 for southwestern Perry, north central Pike, western Garland, southeastern Montgomery, and west central Hot Springs County. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Norman, or 13 miles south of Mount Ida, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. 2-inch in diameter hail, and also the potential of a tornado is indicated with this storm. Hot Springs, Mountain Pine, Glenwood, Hot Springs Memorial Field, Lake Ouachita State Park, Hot Springs National Park, the Oaklawn Racetrack that's over here. You need to be in shelter, walk well. Also the Myers area and the Invent area over here, you need to be in shelter right now. Also the rural area, Fancy Hill, Hamilton, Salem area in Pike County, Crystal Springs Crystal Springs Landing, and also Hemp Wallace over here. So take your tornado precautions immediately. So before, move into a basement, the interior wall, the most center and lowest part of your home, and put as many walls between yourself and this potential tornado at this given moment here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put another track of this storm. I'm going to go ahead and take this off for just a little bit, and we're going to put a track right through here. So there's a track. We're going to clock this at about 60 miles per hour. So give me 1 second, put it right through here. Okay, and you can see, there's your track, and look downstream. I want everybody to pay attention to this. Look downstream from here. So your area of rotation is going to be right through here. Let me see if I can get this to lower it down just a little bit. Okay, so there's your area of rotation. I'm going to go ahead and clock about right here. Okay, and I want everybody to pay attention to this. Look downstream. That's going to be Garland. That's Saline. And this is going to be coming into western Pulaski County before too much longer here. So I want everybody to pay attention to this. If you're in western Pulaski County at this point, I'm gonna put the track right through here. You can see on the top right corner of your screen, this is where Little Rock is right here. That is Highway 65. There's Interstate 30 that runs through here. This is Saline County in western Pulaski County at this current time. So rotation has been indicative right over the Glenwood area at this point, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. Hot Springs Village, Lonsdale, over towards Saline, and over towards Pulaski County. If you know anyone in these areas, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately here. Now you can see with the latest scan, there it is right there, coming into Garland County at this point. And this is moving quick, folks. I mean, every radar scan, it's jumping probably a good 5 miles. Every radar scan. This is radar scan that's coming up every 2 to 3 minutes. So you can see how fast this is going, how fast this is spinning up, and how fast it's moving. So Hot Springs Village, Saline County, and Pulaski County. You need to be in shelter immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to unity outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately. What I want you guys to do real quickly, if you're on Facebook, if you know anybody on Facebook that's like, okay, I don't know what's going on, we need to get this live stream up. Normally we have these live streams at 3,000 to 4,000 people and stuff like that. This is what I was fearing with Facebook. Facebook's not pushing this live stream out. So I want everybody to tag your family, tag your friends, because with coverage, with the comments that comes in, it pushes this live stream out even more. So I want everybody that is in this area. I know there's a lot more people than just 1,000 people in this area that needs this coverage. So share, folks. I cannot stress that enough. This is life-threatening information. This is not something that doesn't need to be shared. This is something that needs to be shared and needs to be pushed out to these folks, guys. I cannot stress that enough at this point. So Highway 270, Highway 70, there's area of rotation as clear as a bell. And what I'm going to do for just a little bit is there's all your roads and stuff right through here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rotation track right through here. Give me just 1 second, so right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this, and we are going to go over to our gate to gate real fast. And there it is. There it is, folks. There's your confirmed area. I do believe we have a potential weak tornado right through here that's pushing about 55 to 60 miles per hour. I do believe we have some sort of weak tornado that may be trying to get going in this area here, coming into Garland County here. So, folks, if you know anyone in this area, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to unity outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately here. I cannot stress that enough at this point here. So give me just 1 second. Let me see if I can turn this off so you guys can see a little clearer. There we go. Alright, so there it is right through here. Your area of rotation is going to be right there. So you see that area is kind of more concise now. It's more consolidated into one little area instead of it being brought out. That's the area of concern right through here. And right now I've got you at about 60 to 61, 62 knots. So this is gate to gate. So you've got winds going inbound and winds going outbound. So this is excuse me. So this is going to be right around 55 to 60 miles per hour. So it's going to be moving to the northeast at about 60 miles per hour. Mount Pine, Hot Springs area, we need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Mount Pine, the school administrators, props to you guys. You guys got those boys and those gals to safety. I love it. You guys, the reaction time needs to be just as quick as they did. They got all their kids, all their administrators into that safe room as quick as possible. I love hearing stories like that. I love hearing how the reaction time is quick. You need to be just as quick as that reaction. So there's the area of rotation right through here. And what I'm going to do is right through here, I'm going to put a track right there. And we're going to take this out at about 60 miles per hour. And we're going to put it right through here. Okay, so that's going to be the Piney area. It's going to go into Garland County at this point. And we're going to see that's going to be right over 270. Hot Springs. Excuse me. Hot Springs. It is going to be just to your west and your northwest at this point. I will say if you're in downtown Hot Springs right now, don't wait on it to try to switch or anything like that. Something that I learned with the Rolling Fork tornado is that it shifted very quickly and it did a right-hand turn. So if you're in Hot Springs or if you're in Mount Pine and stuff like that, you need to be hunkered down. You need to be in that safe place immediately here. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna clear the track off for just a little bit, and I'm gonna do a comparison. Area of rotation's right here, and if I am correct, I do believe the latest scan has further increased my evidence that this thing could easily be on the ground. So there it is right through here. Okay, there's your area of rotation, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch this over to our gate to gate, and boy, right here, right through there's as clear as a bell, right through here, and I'm gonna see if I can get the highest speed right around 63. I just saw 63. Let me see if I can get any higher than 63 right now here. So yeah, most of it is about, that's 62 right there. So about 62 knots puts you at about 55 to 60 miles per hour gate to gate, indicative of a weak tornado in this area. So that's going to be coming into southwestern Garland County. I have to watch it as it continues to move out towards northeast, towards Mount Pine, and also towards the Hot Springs area at this point. But if you know anyone in these areas that need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately, get away from windows, put as many walls to unity outside as possible, get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point. So, on the board, as it stands, we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. Now we have a brand new tornado warning that has just been issued. It's going to go until 1:45, and it's going to go for much of Garland County at this point. So, Hot Springs, you are now officially in the tornado warning itself. Hot Springs Village, you're in the tornado warning. You can see, this is what I was saying, and it's now starting to make that right-hand turn towards the Hot Springs area, towards the Lake Village area, towards the Lonsdale area at this point, and towards Mount Pine. So we have a brand new tornado warning that's just been issued. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to go ahead and double check that real quickly. And there it is right there, folks. Okay, so tornado warning for Garland, Hot Springs, and also Montgomery County is going to go until 1:45 this afternoon. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Myers, 17 miles west of Hot Springs, moving east at 50 miles per hour. The potential ping-pong-sized hail and the tornado threat is there as well. And one thing I want to stress is when your hail size starts to decrease, your tornado threat goes up. When your hail size starts to increase, your tornado threat starts to go down. So keep that in mind. Notice you went from 2-inch hail to 1.5. So now your hail threat is starting to decrease a little bit, but your tornado threat is really starting to ramp up in this area. So Hot Springs, Lake Hamilton, you need to be in shelter right now. I cannot stress that enough. There's the area of rotation. There's our rotation indicator product that we use here at Arkansas Weather Watchers, and there it is. Southwestern Garland County, you need to be in shelter right now at this given moment. Right now, I do not have any chasers in the localized area. I think the majority of them, we're kind of just waiting to see how these storms are going to mature as they move into eastern Arkansas, targeting more to moderate and the high-risk areas over there in eastern Arkansas. This is in the enhanced risk area, by the way. This is not in the moderate. This is not in the high risk. This is in the enhanced risk area, and you got a tornado potentially on the ground moving towards the Hot Springs area here. So Hot Springs, Mount Pine, Lake Hamilton, Lonsdale, Hot Springs Village, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. And folks, like I mentioned before, tag your family, tag your friends. I know there's a lot of people that live in these areas. You need to tag them on this page. You need to tag them. That way they're getting the information, because this is a very, very, very serious situation at this point going into Garland County at this current time. And there's the newest update. What we're going to do is we're going to zoom this down, and I'm going to turn the roads back on here just shortly here. So there's your road that's going to be coming up right here. It's going to be right there on Dollar Road right now, and it's going to be moving towards County Road 801 over here. That is coming into Garland County at this point. Bonnerdale County Road over here, you need to be in safe place right now. Cato Gate Road over here, and also McJohn Trail over here, and Pinecone Road, that's going to be moving into southwestern Garland County. So the tornado itself, the area of rotation of concern right now is on Dollar Road at this point. That is right here on the southwestern side of Montgomery County. Now this is fully in Garland County at this point. So we're going to zoom this back down, and you can see how fast. I mean, my radar updates are coming in 1 to 2 minutes, and this storm is quickly moving to the northeast at about 60 to 70 miles per hour. So that's Pine Cove Road, and this is going to be moving towards the Parsi Road over here, and then 227 is right up here. This is going right for 227 at this point. So if you know anyone in these areas, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. So what I'm going to do for just a moment is I'm going to go back over to this. We're going to put a track. We're going to put it right through here, as you can see. We're going to clock this at about, I'm going to put you at about, it says 50, but I'm going to clock you at about 55 miles per hour to give me a little bit of a room of margin of error to work with here, okay? So there's your road network right through here, okay? So right now the area of rotation, it is just to the west of Pinecone Road at this point. This is going to be moving into Candlegate Road. Highway 227 is going to be coming up here just shortly. And then Piney, it's going to go right over downtown Piney at this point. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible. And get to the lowest area of your home immediately. And then also downtown Hot Springs. And notice something. The area in blue is the track. This is the track and where this is going to go. This is a massive, big area of rotation. It's going to cover the entire real estate of this track. So Piney and Hot Springs, you need to be in shelter right now. I want to stress that at this point, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately at this current point here, okay? So nothing's been confirmed, not seeing any indication. We can take a look at our debris indicator, which is amazing that we don't have any indication of this thing being on the ground and stuff like that. This is what I was saying before. I do believe we still have some capping inversion in place, with it being 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're still dealing with that capping inversion, which will erode, by the way, over the next 2 to 3 hours here. So something that we're going to continue to monitor very closely here. But right now, nothing confirmed on the ground. No indication at this point per the correlation coefficient. We can take a look at our gate-to-gate product. It is a very disorganized mess per the gate-to-gate, which basically means if you're trying to figure out what gate-to-gate is, your inbound winds and your outbound winds, and where your area of rotation is, this product, and how I like it, it centers down all that wind to that one little centralized area, and it really helps out in terms of determining where, if there were to be a tornado, where would it be. So right now, with it being a disorganized mess, that means that we don't have a solid area of circulation, which means there's nothing on the ground, there's nothing doing damage or anything like that, which is awesome. However, with it being a tornado warning and given the environment that it's in, it could easily do this once it gets past any kind of capping inversion that may be in place at this current point here. But regardless, a hail threat and the tornado threats, we're moving into the Hot Springs area within the next, I'd say, a couple of minutes here. Let's go ahead and get your track real fast. I'm going to put it right through here. Piney about 129, Hot Springs about 133, Lonsdale's going to be coming in about 149, 203 for Benton, Salem 206, Bauxite around 207, 210 for the Bryan area, Alexandria we're going to talk about 213, and in the Shannon Hills area, that's in central Arkansas, by the way, it's going to be coming in a little bit after 2 o'clock this afternoon. So we're going to take this and we're going to move this, and you guys are going to see this is going to be coming into central Arkansas at this point. So Hot Springs, stay where you are. And we now have a brand new tornado warning. It's going to go for Perry County up here at this point. We're going to take a look at this storm. There it is right here. New tornado warning has just been issued for our folks up here. So folks, if you need to do me a big favor, push this live stream out. Push it out. Tag your family and friends. Keep pushing this live stream out. Let's get this going. That way folks up here will have a game plan ready to go. Morrilton, Palmerville, Menifee, Opelo, Perry, Houston, Perryville, Adona, you need to be in shelter right now. That is along Highway 10 up here. Tornado warning is going to go until 1:45 at this current time. There's the area of rotation. Let's go over to our rotation indicator real quick. And there it is. It's clear as day. Right here on the north side of Highway 60, south of Adona, southwest of Opelo, southwest of Perry, and west of Perryville at this point, moving northeast at about, I'm clocking at about it says 56 miles per hour. I'm going to clock at about 60 miles per hour at this point. So we're watching two areas of potential rotation, right through Garland, and then we have this area over here in Perry County at this time here that we're going to continue to monitor. So this one right here, I'm going to clock it at about 60 miles per hour right through here. Perryville is going to be coming at your way in about 7 minutes. Perry, you've got less than, I'd say, 8 to 9 minutes. Opelo, 134. Palmerville, 142. Menifee, about 146. Conway at 151, Wooster 152, Greenbrier at 157, Guy at 203, and in the equipment area about 211 this evening. So you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. As you can clearly see, we've got 2 areas of distinct rotation: Perry County, Conway County, and Faulkner County. My first alert for my folks in Faulkner County: you need to be taking your tornado precautions now. We also have the Garland County storm. That's going to be moving towards Saline, Southern and Pulaski County at this point, over just west of Interstate 30 at this time. So to repeat, we have 2 ongoing tornado warnings on the board. I am Cameron Barnes, Assistant Chief Forecaster here at Arkansas Weather Watchers, and I am here to keep you guys updated on these ongoing warnings at this current time. So to repeat, Garland County, tornado warning until 1:45. That's going to go for strictly Garland County at this point. The other tornado warning is going to go for Perry, also Conway County at this time. Faulkner, you are not under the tornado warning as of yet, but I fully expect that to change as we get towards the next couple of minutes here, okay? So there's the track. I'm going to clock it at about 60 miles per hour. Perry, 128. You've got less than 5 minutes. Opelo, you have less than 10. Palmerville, you have less than 15. Menifee, you have less than 20. Wooster, Greenbrier, and Rosebud, you have less than 30 minutes. Take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point. Let's take a look at our rotation indicator at this point. Now, our rotation indicator, our debris signature, and I'm starting to get concerned about this one up here. Now, let me confirm this real fast. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch this back over. There's the area of rotation. So as we right in here, we're going to go back over, and I'm starting to notice how your colors are starting to go a little bit more green in this area. That's on the north side of Highway 60 up here, which is just west of Perryville, south of Adona at this point. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. That's going to be right here. Let's see if I can zoom this down. That's going to be right here just south of County Road 29, which is south of Adona at this point. So anyone in these areas, take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point. So there's your ongoing radar at this time. Let me zoom this out to kind of put some minds at ease at this point. 2 tornado warnings on the board. 2 supercells. Hot Springs area, the Garland County area, the Hot Springs, and the Saline County area. And then we're watching Perry, Conway, and the Faulkner County area at this point. Tornado sirens are going off in Faulkner County right now. I love that. I love the proactiveness today, folks. I love how emergency management is quickly reacting, even though we're in the enhanced risk area over here. Take this seriously, folks. You need to be just as proactive as they are. Tornado sirens are going off in Faulkner County. They should be going off in Perry. They should be going off in Conway County. As same as the Garland County storm. They should be going off there. And we're going to continue to monitor the situation very, very, very closely here. But to repeat, we have 2 tornado warnings on the board at this current time. We have to watch the situation very, very closely here at this point. Give me 1 second. Okay. Alright. So there we go at this time. There's the area of rotation here. Sorry, I'm just kind of warning some folks over here in a Hot Springs area at this point. And then also we're watching this storm up here in Perry in the Conway County area. I want to stress that. Conway County, not in downtown Conway, but in Conway County that we're watching very closely. At this time, we're going to monitor this very closely. This is going to stay west and northwest of the Mayflower area and the Valonia area right now. However, Greenbrier, Mount Vernon, those areas up here in the Faulkner County area, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately. Kim, you're one of my moderators. You live up here in Faulkner County. I'm hoping you're listening to this live stream. I just saw your message on Discord. She is taking shelter at this point. That is amazing. We're watching this storm also down here in Garland County. So we're kind of giving priorities to both storms right now. The other severe thunderstorm warning, this one is probably going to be dropped, and it's going to get replaced with the tornado warning at this time here. So we're monitoring the situation closely, guys. Elsewhere across the state, it's quiet. It's quiet. You know, Eastern Arkansas, you're quiet. Southern Arkansas, you're quiet. Southeastern Arkansas, you're quiet right now. monitoring the situation, what's going on in Western Arkansas. Use this time while it's quiet to have that game plan ready to go, because I'm telling you, this is going to be a very serious situation, and we now have a new tornado warning. So now we have 3 tornado warnings on the board back to back. We have new one up here near Van Buren. All right, let's take a look at that real quickly. So this is a new tornado warning. There it is. Oh man, look at there. That is going right for Highway 65, Fairfield Bay, also Shirley, south of Clinton at this point. Take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this current time here. So we have a new tornado warning on the board up here in Van Buren County. We're going to watch the situation very closely here. So we have 3 ongoing tornado warnings at this current time here. I'm going to stress to you guys right now, patience is going to be a virtue at this time. It is going to be a virtue because we've got to get through all 3 storms. I want to kind of take attention for just a second. This alert bar that you see at the bottom of your screen is going to be your best friend. If I do not go over your specific warning, take a look at the screen below you. That is going to give you your county information, and it's going to give the time on when the tornado warning is going to expire. So take a look at that product at the bottom of your screen here at this current time here, okay? So keep that in mind. However, we're going to watch the situation very closely here. There's area of rotation. Let's go over to our rotation indicator at this point. 3 tornado warnings on the board. Garland County, Perry County, and also Van Buren County up here. All 3 of these storms have the capability of producing significant tornadoes. Some of those tornadoes could potentially be violent in these areas as well. So let's take a look at this. There's area of rotation right in here. And what I'm going to do for just a second to kind of clear up some clutter on here is I'm going to take off the county roads for just a moment. I'm going to kind of clear up some clutter real fast here. So that's going to be Highway 9 right through here, okay? That's going to be the area of concern right through here. That's going to be Highway 336 as well. If you know any one of these areas, then you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to your area, lowest area of your home immediately at this point. I'm going to put a track on this one, and bear me for just a moment. I'm going to get this going for you guys at this current time. Let me see if I can get this up and going. Let me go over to this. It's gonna be okay. All right. So this is what we're gonna do. So before, this is gonna be your track right through here. Okay. All right. So this is your track right here. I'm gonna get this up. There it is. So that's gonna be your area of concern. We're gonna take this out. I'm gonna clock it at about 60 miles per hour up here. So right through here. Okay, there's going to be your track. Fairfield Bay, Greer's Ferry up here, Concord, the Cushman area, the Batesville area, and the Mount Pleasant area up here. This is going to be the area of concern up here. This is going to go towards Batesville up here. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this current point here. So give me just 1 second, guys. Like I said before, I'm kind of monitoring everything at this time here. This is going to be moving towards northeastern Arkansas within, I would say, the next next 1 to 2 hours. Is going to be moving into Independence and up into Izard County. This one's up here near Van Buren, the Cleburne area. Now, let's go back over to this one. This one's going to be the tornado of concern here. Also, we have another one that's Torpause. You're going to have 4 tornado warnings on the board if you're not careful. Once again, Pike County, but we'll talk about that here coming up here just shortly. But this one right here in Perry County, right through here, area of rotation. This one is not as indicative as the other ones. This was so close to the radar, and it's in the higher elevation areas. However, Opelo, Perryville, Perry, Menifee, take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point. Let's put a track on that. So right through here, okay? It's going to look just like this, okay? So that's going to be the area of concern. Give me just 1 second. Let me double check everything real fast. Not seeing any other reports at this point. Okay? So we're just kind of watching everything right now. And so before, we're going to continue to monitor the situation closely with that. And then also, not taking anything away from Hot Springs. Okay? Not taking anything away from this area. We're going to go ahead and put a track. I'm going to put it kind of like this. And I'm going to clock it at about 60 miles per hour. Okay? Piney, Hot Springs, Haskell, Benton, Salem, Bryant, Share Hills, also the Metro, and also Sherwood. This is also, I want to kind of ease some nerves here. This is going to go right over the Weather Center. So, folks, I want to stress something. If we lose power here, we have a whole generator. We're fine. You don't have to worry about us dropping out of coverage. There's another tornado warning. We have 4 tornado warnings on the board right now. We have 4 tornado warnings on the board. Something that we're going to continue to monitor very closely here, guys. We have 4 tornado warnings on the board. Give me 1 second. Let me double check everything on our side. And what we're going to do is we're going to zoom this down, okay? And we're going to have this up and going behind me at this point. So as I said before, if you know any one of these areas that need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately, get away from windows, put as many walls to unity outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this current point. So 4 back-to-back tornado warnings at this point. Hot Springs, you need to be in shelter right now. Okay, you need to be in shelter at this point. 4 tornado warnings. That's going to go for Pike, Cart, Hot Springs, Garland, Perry, Conway, Van Buren, Claiborne areas. It's going to go into Stone County as well. If you know anyone in these areas, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. If you have that tornado alert go across your phone, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately here. And also, the Greens Ferry area has campgrounds. A lot of people are out camping given the time of the year. If you can, do me a big favor and get in contact with them immediately, okay? Get in contact with them immediately at this point, okay? So, this tornado one is going to go until 2 o'clock. This one up here is going to go until 2 o'clock. This one down here is until 2. And then we've got one until 1:45 for the Hot Springs area. And I'm fairly certain that it's going to get extended into Saline and into Perry County at this point. Not Perry County, Saline and Pulaski County at this current time here. So let me see here, going over everything right now. So yeah, 4 tornado warnings on the board. 4 tornado warnings on the board. The alert bar down there is going to be your best friend. It's going to be your best friend at this current time here, okay? So we're going to monitor the situation very, very closely. At this current time, you're going to hear that alert go off on the alert bar down there. But a tornado warning remains in effect until 2 o'clock for northeastern Perry, south central Conway County. A thunderstorm Kipper producing a tornado was located over Perry or near Perryville, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Hazard tornado. Source the potential radar indicated rotation at this current time here. So that's going to be Morrilton, Perryville, Opelo, Sequoia Park, Houston, and Toadsuck over here as well. This one down here, tornado warning is going to go for the following: northwestern Clark, northeastern Pike, southwestern Garland, southeastern Montgomery, west central Hot Springs County until 2 o'clock. Radar indicated rotation with this as well. This is going to go right over downtown Hot Springs. Right over Hot Springs within a period of time. Glenwood, Daisy, once again Glenwood and Daisy, the Abney area, the Daisy State Park, Bear Creek Public Use Area, Bismarck, Salem, also Roseburg, and also the Point Cedar area, Kirby, and also Pierce. Kirby, you just got through dealing with an EF2 tornado, one of these previous events here. So continue to monitor the situation closely. We have 4 tornado warnings on the board at this current time here. This is something that we're monitoring very closely. As I mentioned before, I'm Assistant Chief Forecaster Cameron. This is what we do. This is what Arkansas Weather Watchers is built for. 4 tornado warning on the board. We're watching the situation closely, and I'm going to keep an eye. Thank you, Austin, for letting me know in the chat. I'm going to keep an eye on this storm down here. We're going to go over to our debris indicator right now, and I'm going to keep an eye on this storm just southwest of Albany at this current time. This one right in here is going to move to the northeast, and we're going to put a track on this storm here. So maybe for just a moment, let me get this up and going. I think we're good to go for all of this. So we're going to get the track. All right, so the area of rotation is going to be right in here. Let me see if I can get this right here. So there's the area of rotation, okay? And like I said before, it's broad, but we're going to keep an eye on it, okay? I'm going to clock you at about 60 miles per hour. Every storm I see, I'm clocking you at about 60. Abney, Lake Hamilton, you need to be right where you are. If you're hunkered down in Lake Hamilton, you need to stay there. Stay there for the next 20 to 40 minutes. First storm's passing you to the north. You have another one coming at you from the southwest. Lonsdale, it's going to be about 2 o'clock. Haskell, 2 o'clock. Benton, around 2:30. And in the Bauxite area, around 2:35 this afternoon here. So monitor the situation very, very closely at this point. Also, like I said before, not taking anything away from these other tornado warnings up here as well. This one up here is going to be in the Conway area, the Conway County area, or you could say the Conway area over here. There's a tornado warning. This one's going to go until 2 o'clock. There's the area of rotation. I do believe this one is the weakest one out of all. However, we're going to treat it as if it were on the ground, and we're going to move it to the northeast. I'm going to clock you at about 60 miles per hour. So there it is right through here. Palmerville, Menifee, Booster, Greenbrier, Guy, Quitman, and also the Roseburg and the Pengburg area. So if you know any one of these areas, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately here at this current time here. So there's been reports of a tornado that has touched down near the Yukon Pass area here. Let me go ahead and get my my MBOT up over here at this current time. There's a new mesoscale discussion that's not for us here in Arkansas, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the National Weather Service chat up real fast. Right now, okay, so in Perry, this was about 10 minutes ago. There's been reports of a funnel cloud in Perry County, not Perry County, and Garland County in Piercy at this point. Let's see here. So Kipper producing a tornado was located in Choctaw. There's Clinton moving northeast at 45 miles per hour here. So that's going to be with this storm up here at this current time here. Okay, now we have there's a tornado watch that is being issued. It's just being updated at this current time. Also, as I said before, we've got other tornado warnings on the board. I'm going to take a look at this one. This is going to be for the Van Buren area at this point. Let's take a look at that right now. And let's take a look at here, right through here, okay? Let's put a track on that. I'm going to clock you at about 60 miles per hour. All these storms today, I'm clocking you at about 60 miles per hour. So that's going to be in the Fairfield area, the Greenbrier area, the Batesville area, and the Cave City area. That's going to be moving towards Independence and Lawrence County within the next hour or so. That's my first alert to those folks over there in Independence and Lawrence. But in Van Buren, Cleburne, and Stone County, you need to be in shelter immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to unity outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately here. Now, we're going to zoom this back down to this one down in here. Okay, area of rotation once again, Highway 7 going just north of Hot Springs. Luckily, it went right between Mount Pine and the Hot Springs area here. You can see it went right between those areas, right there on 227. It's going to go north of Hot Springs. However, that doesn't mean anything. We have a brand new tornado warning that does include Saline County, and this one, my folks in Little Rock, you need to watch this storm very closely. This is going to make a run for downtown Little Rock coming up here in just a little bit. So if you know anyone in these areas, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. This is going to go right for Saline and straight into downtown Little Rock at this current point. So anyone in these areas, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to unity outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the radar off for just a moment. Okay, and you can see those are the ongoing warnings at this current time. Van Buren, Cleburne, also the Conway area, the Perryville area, the Faulkner County area. There's Garland, and then there's also Pike County down here. We're watching the storm very closely. This one's going to move right for Central Arkansas. So, folks, I'm urging, push this live stream out. Get this live stream out to as many people as physically possible. Let's get that number up even more. That way people are alert of the situation here, okay? So there's going to be the alert right through here. I'm going to draw this out. It's going to be right here. And this is going to move northeast. I'm clocking you at about 60 miles per hour. This is going to go on the south side of Little Rock. This is going to go right through central Little Rock at this point. You need to watch this storm very closely. Very, very closely. If you're in downtown Little Rock right now, or you're in Saline County, or you're in Benton, or you're in Lonsdale, or you're in Garland County, you need to continue to monitor the progression of this storm over the next couple of minutes here. This one's going to go right for Central Arkansas at this current time. Little Rock, we're putting you at about 222 this afternoon. And for those that are wondering, we have a tornado shelter here in the Weather Center. We are safe. We are good to go. We're going to continue to monitor the situation here. But we're going to watch this very, very, very closely here at this current time here. So, right now here, so a 5th tornado warning southwest of Amity at this time here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tornado warnings at this point. We're monitoring the situation very closely, guys. Everybody stay safe, stay prepared. We've got multiple tornado warnings on the board. If I don't get to your specific city or county area right now, just rest assured that I will. But we have 5 tornado warnings. This is the most tornado warnings we've seen in quite some time here in Arkansas. So 5 tornado warnings on the board. We've got it. We're going to keep you guys covered here at Arkansas Weather Watchers. This is what we're built for. This is what we do. So for the following areas, you have a tornado warning. Clark, Hot Springs, Garland, Saline, Perry, Faulkner, Van Buren, and Cleburne counties. Take your tornado precautions immediately. Take your tornado precautions immediately. I cannot stress that enough at this point. You need to be taking your tornado precautions now. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point here. Okay, now I will say this one up here near the Conway area, I think this one will probably be dropped because this one's lost its rotation. There is still some capping inversion in place that is trying to fight this off, which would be awesome. However, we're going to continue to monitor the situation up here in Van Buren and the Cleburne areas. So watching up here in northern Arkansas, this is another track that we're going to have to watch. This one's moving northeast. I'm going to clock you about 60 miles per hour. All right. So there's going to be a track, Fairfield Bay, the Cushman area, the Mount Pleasant area, the Sydney area, the Cave City, and Evening Shade. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni as high as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point. This tornado warning in particular is going to go until 2 o'clock. I do believe as it stands, this area of rotation is very, very disorganized unless it reorganizes itself. I'm pretty certain they're probably going to let this one go at 2 o'clock, but we'll see what ends up happening with this. We'll continue to monitor this storm near the Conway area. That's right there along Interstate 40. All right, we're going to do the same thing, clocking about 60 miles per hour. That's Menifee, Greenbrier, Guy, Quitman, Mount Vernon, Mount Vernon, Heber Springs, the Latona, and also the Payneburg area up here in north central Arkansas. Also, like so forth, not taking anything away from these down here. This one in particular concerns me very much so because this one is moving to the northeast at about 60 miles per hour. So we're going to clock this. Give me 1 second. We'll clock it right through here. And also, like so forth, there's some errors in this overall track. There's a margin of error with this, so keep that in mind. But for Benton, Salem, Bryant, Shannon Hills, Camet Village, Lake Little Rock, North Little Rock, Wrightsville, Sherwood, and also the Jacksonville area. Take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this current time here. Okay, so we're going to continue to monitor this situation closely. This one right in here. We're also watching a couple of areas of rotation over here as well. We're going to go over to our gate-to-gate product here. Now, our gate-to-gate product, right now as it stands, I think this is the strongest one up here. I'm going to get back to that here in just a little bit. But this one right here, to kind of concern the folks in central Arkansas, I'm monitoring this very closely. For us, fortunately, this is not showing a good amount of rotation. It's just broad rotation right now. It's in an environment that can do it. There is still some capping inversion in place, so we'll watch it closely. But right now, this is what we're going to continue to monitor. Up here in northern Arkansas, this one in particular has my concern, and I'm going to go ahead and switch over, and there it is right there, and you can see with the gate-to-gate product, so right here, there it is right there. So right through here, I'm putting it as about 28, 30 knots. That's indicative of a weak tornado, so that's awesome to see. Right now, I'm not hearing any reports of significant tornadoes or anything like that, so that's fine, that's okay. That's something that we're going to continue to monitor very, very, very closely here, okay? So there it is right there, the Clinton area. That's going to be the Cleburne area at this point. That's going to be Garland and Saline. We're going to watch that closely as well. This one's going to track, if everything stays on track, should stay south of the weather center. So we're going to be good, like I mentioned before. Don't worry about it. We're going to be fine. As a matter of fact, I take that back. When we're watching this, I think it's beginning to take that northeast turn. And if it does do that, it does take that northeast turn, we will have to watch areas up here on the north side along Highway 65, the Jacksonville area, and the BB area. So I'm going to continue to monitor this storm closely. If it does continue to take that northeast turn, it's going to go on the north side, northwest side of Little Rock, and it's going to go right for the BB area, and it may try to make a run for White County. So I'm going to keep an eye on that storm going into central Arkansas here. Then this one down here for our folks in southwestern Arkansas, we're going to continue to monitor the situation. Tornado warning goes until 2 p.m. Tornado warning for northwestern Clark, northeastern Pike County, southwestern Garland, southeastern Montgomery, west central Hot Springs County. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Glentonwood, or 18 miles south of Mount Ida, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour here. So bear with me for just a bit. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I'm in contact with our team. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. So we're good. So I'm just kind of getting in contact with them. They're getting in position to kind of counter these storms as they move up towards the east at this point. So right now, there's that. There's tornado warning down here. So now we're down to 1, 2. We're probably going to lose this one up here. So I'd say 1, 2, 3 tornado warnings on the board instead of 5. We're now down to 3. So we're starting to calm down just a little bit. However, this one up here, now we're back up to 4. As I said that, we're now back up to 4. So we have a brand new tornado warning that's going to go for Stone, Western Independence, Southwestern Izard, Northeastern Van Buren, and Northwestern Cleveland counties. This tornado warning is going to go until 2:15. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Fairfield Bay, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So, folks in this area, we have a brand new tornado warning that has just been issued for these folks up here in northern Arkansas. I'm going to go ahead and put a track once again on this storm. So, let's go ahead and do this real fast. There it is right here. We're going to put a track. It's going to take it to the northeast. I'm going to clock you at 60 just to give you guys a little bit of a perspective. Given the storm modes today, I'm going to clock you about 60 miles per hour. So it's going to be Fairfield Bay, Mountain View, the Melbourne area, also the Oxford area, Franklin, Horseshoe Bend, and also Ash Flat up here. Up here, Stone, Izard, Sharp, and Fulton County up here. You need to be taking your tornado precautions. The tornado warning for Conway, for Faulkner and Perry counties has been expired. That tornado is no longer in present. The rotation has died off. You're good to go in those areas. However, Van Buren, Cleburne, Stone counties, up towards Izard, Sharp, and Fulton counties, you need to monitor this storm very, very closely. It's moving northeast at I'm clocking you about 60 miles per hour at this current time. Also, we're going to continue to monitor this storm down here. I will say this, right in here, let's go ahead and do this. That's about 61 outbound. This one is going to be about 22 coming in. So that's going to be about 80 miles per hour. So that's indicative of a weak tornado in this area. So if you know anyone in this area that's going to be along Highway 5, along Highway 128, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to your lowest area of your home immediately at this point. So we're going to take a look. We're going to go ahead and put a track. I'm going to clock you. This one I'm going to put about 55 miles per hour. Salem, 209. It's going to be coming up with you next 10 to 15 minutes. Also, the Bryant and the Alexandria area, it's going to be about 213 to 216 area. And also the Alexandria area, the Shannon Hills, the Cabot Village, Little Rock, North Little Rock, Sherwood, and also the Jacksonville area. Take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of the home immediately. And now we have a corridor of significant tornado potential from the Storm Prediction Center that now goes for much of central Arkansas at this point. So that's the area of concern. There is now a new mesoscale discussion corridor of significant tornado potential through the mid-afternoon hours for our folks in central Arkansas at this point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom this out. Not taking anything away from the tornado warnings, by the way. I want to make that perfectly clear. I'm not taking anything away from the tornado warnings at this current point. However, I want to stress this right now. This area in concern that you see on your board right here, this area that you see highlighted, that is the area of concern going forward here. So I can go back. Give me 1 second. I'll put this up. This area that you see drawn out for Conway County, to Faulkner County, to Perry County, Jefferson, all the way down to Hot Springs, in this county right in particular. This particular area is highlighted from the Storm Prediction Center for the corridor of significant tornado potential here, okay? So keep that in mind, something that we're going to watch very, very closely. As I mentioned before, we're going to continue to monitor the situation very closely here. We're going to continue to monitor this very closely as this continues to push off towards the east here. But what I want you guys to do, if you know anybody that needs downstream coverage, send them here. Tag your family, tag your friends, tag whoever you can in this live stream. That way they're good to go across the board. But to repeat, we have a tornado warning across the board. That's going to go for Saline and Pulaski County. Also, we've got Van Buren, Cleburne, Stone counties up here, Montgomery, Pike, Hot Springs, and Garland counties over here as well. So something that we're going to continue to monitor very, very closely here. But folks, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately at this point. So this is the storm of concern. This one's going to move right for central Arkansas. We're going to go back over to our rotation indicator here. Now, there's some good news with this. This is a broadened out rotation. That doesn't mean anything, folks. That doesn't mean that, nothing's going to happen. It's not going to produce a tornado. However, it is organizing itself. It can easily produce a tornado at any given moment. So you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible. And get to the lowest area of your home immediately here. That's the biggest thing I want to stress to you guys at this given moment here. Okay, so let me double check everything right now. There's your tornado warning down here. That's going to go for Pike, Clark, Hot Springs, Garland, and the Montgomery County area. This one's going to continue to move out towards the northeast. This one in particular, I will say the rotation doesn't look as impressive as it did before, which is awesome. However, we're going to continue to monitor the situation closely. It continues to move off towards the east-northeast at about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Now, let's go back up here to North Arkansas real quickly. There's the area of rotation here. It's going to be right there on State Highway 16, Highway 263 up here, Highway 9, Highway 5, Highway 14 up here. That's going to be the area of concern. I'm going to draw a track on this at this moment. There's the track right through here. And we're going to clock it right about, I'm going to clock it about, I say this one, probably close to 53 miles per hour. Mount View, the Melbourne area, the Franklin area, the Evening Shade area, and also the Horseshoe Bend. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this current point here. So to repeat, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. If you're in the Hot Springs area, this has pushed off towards the east. Right now, the biggest thing I want to stress to you guys right now, I've got 2,000 people on this live stream. I love each and every one of y'all, okay? If you've never heard of us, we are Arkansas Weather Watchers. This is what we do, okay? But I want you guys to do me a big favor. I want that number to continue to rise because that means more people are tuning in, more people are staying aware, and more people are staying updated, especially in a very crucial situation. We're looking at a very dangerous tornado outbreak that is ongoing and is going to continue throughout the evening and into tonight. I want you guys to share the crap out of this live stream. That way, folks are very aware. Make this live stream go viral. If y'all can do me a big favor, and we cover everybody, everyone. We don't cover just the metro. We cover the entire state of Arkansas here. So I'm going to go from north to south. We're going to talk about the one in Van Buren, Cleburne, and Stone County, one in Central, and then I'm going to talk about the one down here in Garland County. So we're going to start up here in northern Arkansas, Van Buren County. There's the area of rotation right through here. Northwest of Greer's Ferry, east of Shirley, south and west of, south-southwest of Mountain View, and also well to the south and west of Melbourne, Evening Shade, and Cushman, and southwest of Concord. This is in northwestern Cleburne County or in northeastern Van Buren County at this current time. Take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately here. This one in here, that one is going to be allowed to expire. That one's going to be allowed to expire at 2 o'clock. So we're done with that one. So that means we'll have, knocking on wood here, 2 tornado warnings on the board at this point. So something that we're going to continue to monitor very, very closely here. And I want to stress, this live stream is going to continue throughout the evening and into tonight. At this point on YouTube, on Facebook, it's going to continue, so you don't have to worry about anything. But right through here, okay, something that we're going to have to watch. And also we have like I said, every time I say we have 2 on the board, we have another one. So right through here now, Conway County, northern Faulkner County now. That's going to go until 2:45. A brand new tornado warning has been issued. This one's going to go for southeastern Van Buren, southwestern Cleburne, east central Conway, and northern Faulkner counties. This one's going to go until 2:45 this evening. Another area of rotation that we're monitoring. And the biggest thing I want to stress right now, guys, this is well away from the moderate. This is well away from the high risk. This is well away from those highest risk areas. This is in the enhanced and in the slight risk areas over here, okay? This is in a quote-unquote lowered tornado threat, and we're seeing this ongoing right now. And this is going to continue to move to the east as we progress within time here, okay? So, right through here, we're going to have to watch the situation closely here, okay? So, Cleburne and Stone counties, take your tornado precautions immediately. Also, we're going to have to watch the storm closely near the Saline County area. This one's going to make a run for Little Rock. We're watching Little Rock very closely. Don't worry. We are watching the entire situation very, very, very closely here. Okay, I'm not stressing anything. I'm not taking anything away from Central Arkansas. However, we have other areas across the state that needs just as much of attention as Central Arkansas. Okay, so this is gonna go right through here, and I would not be shocked within the next 5 to 10 minutes if there's a tornado warning, and you guys are gonna hear the tornado sirens go off in the background of this live stream. So just kind of keep that in mind. You're going to hear that go off here at the Weather Center if there is a downstream tornado warning for this one. This one's going to be expired, so this one's done. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go back over to our radar real quickly, okay? And then we're going to focus on the ones up here in northern Arkansas as well. This one in particular, we're going to have to watch this one up here near Twin Groves, the Greenbrier area, the Guy area, the Quitman area, the Wooster area, this one right in here. We're going to have to watch the situation very closely. This one, I'm going to put a track on it. The area of rotation is easy as day. It's going to be right through here. Moving northeast, I'm going to clock you about, I'd put you about 50 miles per hour to the northeast here, okay? Greenbrier, 204, Guy, 211, Quitman, right around 219, the Rosebud area, 226. Also, the Heber Springs area, 235, and also the Pingbird area at 244 this afternoon here. Okay, so for those in this area, you need to take your tornado precautions immediately. I am getting reports now of hail being reported. That is going to be near the 6 miles east of the Glenwood area. Just double checking everything right now. Tornado warning that's going to go until 2:45 over here. And that's going to go for, give me 1 second, that's going to go for Cleburne, Conway, Faulkner, and Van Buren counties up here at this current time. So we're just double checking everything at this current point, just watching everything right now. And as I mentioned before, guys, a lot of people are watching us on YouTube and on Facebook at this point. I've got a total of 4,000 people on here, guys. I love each and every one of y'all. I want y'all to stay safe today, okay? I want y'all, we've got this. We've got this, Arkansas. We're going to get through this. We're going to keep you guys updated, okay? So, this one in here, I'm keeping an eye on. That one's going to go right for Heber Springs. That was the Cleburne area. That's northern White County. This one's going to go northern Faulkner County. It's going to make its way towards the Batesville and the Newport area here. And then there's another tornado warning up here for Stone County, northwestern Cleburne, and Van Buren County. This one back here is going to get expired at 2 o'clock. I'm not really too concerned about that. This one here, this one's done. This tornado warning is done. However, attention turns to this one. This one is organizing, and that's the biggest thing right now, and I'm going to show you guys what's going on. So, here's what's going on at this point. We're going to go ahead, and I'm going to switch over to this. I'm going to show everybody why these storms are not instantly putting a tornado on the ground, okay? This is what's going on at this point, okay? Notice something. You see these orange and these purple areas and stuff like that? There's a substantial capping inversion in place that's holding these storms back from putting out significant tornadoes. This cap is going to be gone within the next 2 to 3 hours. So I'm expecting additional development to really start getting going by the time we get towards later this afternoon and into this evening here. So this is not over just yet. If you do have a storm that goes over your area, it's not going to be the end. You're going to have to watch for additional cells that are going to have to pop up here, okay? So, this one right in here, this tornado warning right in here, tornado warning for East Central Garland County has been canceled. That one's going to go until 2:15, so they may actually let this one go. This one is still before. This one's struggling because they're still capping inversion. Well, when I mean a capping inversion, let's take this Coke bottle for just a second. You see this lid on this Coke bottle? Notice something, how everything's not able to come up. You have to take the lid off for the storms to go up and start becoming tornadic. So there is some sort of a capping inversion in place that's kind of holding everything down right now, but it doesn't mean anything. It means that for now, these storms are going to be tornadic. They're still going to have the potential of producing tornadoes. However, when that capping goes away within the next 2 to 3 hours, that's when it's going to become dire, especially my folks over there in eastern Arkansas at this point. So there's your track with this one. We're going to continue to monitor this one real fast. I'm going to watch this one down here near the Saline County area. I'm going to loop the radar so you guys can see it a lot better. And this one right in here, you can see a developing supercell with this one. This one's coming into Saline County, and I'm very concerned that this one is going to miss the metro and it's going to go from Maumelle in the Jacksonville area, and it's going to try to make its way towards BB and the Cabot area. This was making that northeast turn versus going due east. So something that we're going to monitor very, very, very closely. Also, if you guys have any photos or videos and you can do it safely, send it in our inbox. We'll get to you when we can. But right now, I would say this is a developing supercell, and I'm getting worried. I'm getting very worried. My folks in northern Pulaski County, up towards Lone Oak, and I would say White County. White County, you need to watch this storm. You need to watch this storm very closely. I know this is kind of wells out of the way, but just a gut feeling, you need to watch this storm closely if you're in White County at this current time here. Okay, so this one up here, I do believe they're going to let this one go. I'm not seeing any indication of any, there's still that rotation up there, so we'll keep an eye on that. This one's going to continue to move towards Stone County, towards the Izard County area. This one, broad rotation, going into northern Faulkner County, and it's going to go into southwestern Cleburne County. So, folks, regardless if this thing produces a tornado or not, you need to be well aware of the situation. You need to be ready to go at this point. And we now have a brand new, well, actually, never mind. That was a tornado warning. That's going to go until 2:15 for this one right through here. So there probably are sirens that may be trying to go off on the west side of Pulaski County at this point. It doesn't include Little Rock just yet, but we'll see what ends up happening. The area of rotation is struggling with the storm, which is great news because there's still some sort of capping inversion just holding on. I mean, it's just holding on as for its dear life at this point. But there is a tornado warning that's going to go for Saline County. It's going to go until 2:15 this afternoon at this time here. And you can hear in the background, there's tornado sirens that are now going off here at the Weather Center. There's now a new tornado warning that is in place. That's going to go until 2:30, and it does include downtown Little Rock. So now you hear the tornado sirens going off in the background. You may hear, you may not, but there is going off here in the Weather Center. So now we have a brand new tornado warning at this point. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're good to go. All right, yeah, there's now a brand new tornado warning in place. That's going to go for Little Rock at this time. It's going to go until 2:30. It should be coming up here in just a little bit. We're going to let this load up, and as I said before, we have another tornado warning up here that's going to go for Faulkner County. That's going to go into Cleburne County, and then we're also watching the one up here in Van Buren, Cleburne, Stone County, and I will say there'll probably be an extension to this one that may go into Izard and into Fulton County at this current time here. So, like I said before, this is what we've got at this current time here. So we're watching the situation very, very closely here. But there's now a brand new tornado warning should be popping up on my screen here shortly here. But as I said before, tornado warning is going to go until 2:30 for Pulaski County. You can hear the tornado sirens. They're going off here in Little Rock at this current point. Take a look at this. Let's get this up and going. This storm in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a track on this storm. And I'm going to do this. Give me 1 second. Let me switch this back over to our thing real fast here. Okay. And we're going to get this up and going. And there it is. Okay. So there's this. Tornado warning should be coming up here just a little bit. Alright, and it's going to move to the northeast here, so I'm going to put you at about 50 miles per hour in this general direction, okay? Salem, Maumelle, Little Rock, North Little Rock, Sherwood, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. For those that are wondering, why am I not in shelter? Well, the Weather Center is in a place in the center part. It is well away from any windows, and it is away from the exterior walls. So we are perfectly fine here in the Weather Center. I want to make that clear right now. But this is going to move to the northeast. So this is going to go into Highway 65. And I'm very concerned for my folks in Jacksonville, the Cabot area. And then eventually this is going to move towards the BB area. So if you know anyone in these areas, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to you on the outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point. So to repeat, a brand new tornado warning is now in place until 2:30 this afternoon for Central Arkansas, for Little Rock, for Salem, Maumelle, Little Rock, North Little Rock, Sherwood, the Gibson area, the Gavel Ridge area, the Jacksonville area, the Cabot area, and the BB area. Take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to you between you and the tornado itself and get to that center and lower portion of your house immediately, okay? Also, we're watching this one up here. I'm going to take a look at this one. It's going to be up here in northern Arkansas, like I mentioned before, not taking anything away from central Arkansas, but we cover the entire state of Arkansas, folks. We cover the entire state. We don't bias just off of central. We cover the entire state of Arkansas. So Quitman, Heber County, Rosebud, over towards Payneburg, over towards Pleasant Plains. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately as well. Get away from windows, put as many walls to units outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately here. And I'm very concerned for my folks in Cleburne, also in White County, also in Jackson, and Independence County at this current time here. So we're going to zoom this out. And as I mentioned before, I know a lot of people are worried, especially here in central Arkansas, okay? We got 3 tornado warnings back to back on the board at this point. Hot Springs, you've got the all clear, not for the event, but you've got the all clear for the tornado potential right now. The event is going to continue throughout the afternoon and into the evening. This is going to continue throughout the day. I apologize for that. That may have been something that may have fell, but that's fine. So take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this current point here. Okay, so we're going to watch this situation very, very closely right through here. This is going to be the area of concern. Now, I will say this. For our folks in downtown Little Rock, this may go to the north of downtown Little Rock. However, between Little Rock and Maumelle, you need to be in shelter immediately. That's the biggest thing I want to stress to you guys right now. This is a very, very concerning situation at this point. It's going to be right through here, okay? I'm going to put a track, put it right through here at 50 miles per hour. So this is going to go for our folks in Sherwood, Jacksonville, Cabot, Maumelle, and Little Rock at this current time here. So bear with me for just a moment. I've got the track up here. I'm going to talk to our chief forecaster, Derek, just making sure that we're good. These are the ongoing tornado warnings at this point. I'm going to zoom this out so you guys can see it. Hang on. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Getting some contact with our chasers real quickly at this time. Give me 1 second. Alright, now we're good to go. Okay. So now, as I said before, this is going to track to the northeast. We're going to have to watch between Maumelle and downtown Little Rock. Little Rock, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible. And get to the lowest area of your home immediately. Also, the other tornado warnings at this point. That's going to go until 2:45. That's going to go for southeastern Van Buren, northern Faulkner County, and Cleburne counties. And then also, we've got another one up there that we're watching very closely. That's going to go for Stone County, or maybe an extension to that tornado warning. That's going to go for Izzard, and it's going to go for Sharp counties at this current time here. But for the ones down here, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately. That's going to be down here in central Arkansas at this current time. It's going to go right over northern Little Rock. It's going to go right over Sherwood, and I'm very concerned, actually, that if this continues, this may make a run for the National Weather Service radar. Hold on, give me 1 second. Alright, give me 1 second. So, that radar, we'll have to watch that closely. This is going to continue to move towards the northeast, between Maumelle and the Little Rock area. Sorry about that if I do go quiet. I am in communication with our chase team as well. This is going to continue to move towards the northeast. I'm going to put a track on this. I'm going to put it at about 55 miles per hour at this point. So, right through here, Cabot Village, Little Rock, North Little Rock, Sherwood, Gibson, Gravel Ridge, Jacksonville, Cabot, Ward, and also Beebe. Take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible. And get to the lowest area of your home immediately. I want to stress that right now at this point. If you are in West Little Rock, if you are in Little Rock, if you are listening to this sound of my voice, and you are hearing this at this time, take your tornado precautions immediately. If you're in Greenbrier, you are good to go at this point. Like I mentioned before, folks, patience, patience, patience with me, okay? You're going to have to be patient with us today, folks, because there's a lot of stuff going on at this current time. There's a tornado warning for this one. I'm going to go ahead and put a track This one, I'm fully expecting an additional warning to get issued for Heber Springs, for Pleasant Plains, and this one's probably going to go into Cleburne and into Independence County at this current time here. So we're going to watch the situation closely. Noah, I will take care of that. Give me just 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, so tornado warning remains in effect. Severe thunderstorm Kipper producing a tornado was near Salem County, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour at this current time here. So give me 1 second here. I'm going to pin our current live stream on the page here. So bear with me for just a moment. And I'm going to get that up for you guys so you guys can kind of see that at this point here. But there's the Greenbrier storm right here. This is northeast of Greenbrier. So if you're in Greenbrier, you're good. You're good to go. This is getting out of Faulkner County. You're awesome. But if you're in Cleburne County, if you're in Heber Springs or in Quitman, you need to be in shelter right now, okay? Mountain View, over here in Stone County, you're going to have to watch the situation closely. Also, there's the other storm down here. There's the area of rotation. And what I'm going to do for just a moment, because I know what's going on, I'm going to do this, and we're going to do this, because it's so doggone close. There it is, okay? It's so darn close to the radar that you're not seeing the area of rotation here. So there it is right here. There's the area of rotation with this particular storm, and it's going to continue to move out towards northeast here. So Highway 10, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately. Another thing I'm concerned about, especially for my folks that have weather apps, the Little Rock's radar is in a direct path of this potential tornado. So if it does knock out Little Rock's radar, we will lose Little Rock's radar, which means the radar will probably go down for much of Arkansas. But we do have backup radars, so you don't have to worry about that. But I'm very concerned about that potential. But if you know anyone on Highway 10 that is north and west of downtown Little Rock, I want to kind of reassure you guys and watch this situation closely. Little Rock, you need to be hunkered down. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately. If you are between Little Rock, Maumelle, Sherwood, Gibson, Jacksonville, you need to be in shelter now. I cannot stress that enough. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. You hear the tornado sirens going off in the background here in the Weather Center. This is what we've got. There's the area of rotation. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a look. And there is your debris indicator at this point. Give me 1 second. Let me switch this over to our gate-to-gate shear. Okay, so gate-to-gate right now, a disorganized mess. This is what we want to see. However, doesn't mean anything. It is still capable of producing a tornado. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately at this current time here. So to repeat, a tornado warning is in effect for Saline, Pulaski County. That's going to go for Maumelle, for Little Rock, for Sherwood, for Gibson, and for Jacksonville. And I will say Cabot and my folks up there in White County, you need to watch this storm very, very closely. It continues to trek off towards the east-northeast at the current time. And if you pay attention to the left side of your screen, you see those severe thunderstorm warnings in southwestern Oklahoma. That is our next round of storms that's going to be coming through, and this is going to continue. This is going to be an all-day, all-night coverage that we're going to have to watch very closely. This is going to continue to stream into the state as long as that front of boundary is not cleared through. So to repeat, tornado warning goes for the following: Van Buren, Cleburne, Faulkner, Pulaski, and Saline counties. So the Saline County and the Pulaski County one's going to go until 2:30 this afternoon, another 15 minutes. Bear with me, Arkansas. I got you back here. You don't have to worry about it. Also, up there in northern Arkansas, this is going to go for Faulkner, Cleburne, and Van Buren County. This tornado warning is going to go also until 2:45. Take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible. And get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point. You do not have to worry about our stream cutting out. We are going to be fine. But I will say this. Maumelle and the Gibson area, you need to watch this storm very, very closely. It is beginning to make that northeast turn at this current time. And you need to be watching this storm very, 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 very closely here at this point if you're in Maumelle. So Maumelle, you need to be in shelter immediately at this time. And there's the area of rotation right through here. Right through here. There's the area of rotation. We're going to put a track on this storm. It's going to be right through here. We're going to put you at about, I'm going to clock you at about 60 miles per hour. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do this. This one is I'm going to give it more of a broad out track. We're going to do this because this is moving northeast. I'm going to clock you about 60 miles per hour to give you guys more of an accurate timing. And remember for just a second, it's going to be right through here. Cabot Village, Sherwood, Gravel Ridge, and in the Jacksonville area. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to unity outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point. I'm keeping my eye on that hot spring storm once again. I'm starting to see another area of rotation that may be trying to get going over here. Also, up here in northern Arkansas, I'm keeping an eye on this one as well. This one up here is going right for Quitman. Putting a track on this one, we're going to put you at about 55 miles per hour. Quitman, Heber Springs, Hangberg, Pleasant Plains, Old Trough, also Sulphur Rock, and New York. You need to be taking your You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to unity outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this current point here. Okay, so just double checking everything right now. Double checking it this real fast. Looking at this storm at this moment. This was in Central Arkansas. I know a lot of people are tuning into this live stream, trying to figure out what's going on. We are in live coverage mode. I want to stress that right now. We are in live coverage mode. If you know anybody that needs to be here, take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to unity outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this current time here. To repeat, we have a tornado warning in place for Pulaski County. That does include the metro, that does include Sherwood, that does include Gibson and Jacksonville and Maumelle and the Little Rock Air Force Base and the National Weather Service office up here as well. So take your tornado precautions immediately. I do believe National Weather Service Little Rock may be transferring power over to, give me 1 second, yeah, maybe transferring power at this current time here. So take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to unity outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this current point here. We're watching this situation closely. Definite. Thank you, Dustin, for that. Definite wall cloud with this storm that is coming in at this current time here. This is going to continue to move out towards north and east here. At this current time, we're kind of zooming down so you guys can get a perspective on where this is going. So this is going to continue to move out towards north and east here. So if you know anyone in these areas, they need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to unity outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this current point. There's the area of rotation. It's going to continue to move out towards the north and east here. Right now, let's go over and take a look at our debris indicator at this point. Not seeing any sort of rotation potential, debris indicated on this at this current time, but that doesn't mean anything. You need to be in shelter right now. There's your gate-to-gate shear at this point, broad out at this point, which is great news. And there it is. There's the newest scan right through here. There's the newest scan right there. Okay, so that's going to be, there's your inbound winds right here. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a track right through there. There it is. There's your inbound winds coming in at this point. And I will say this, that's about 65 over 70. We're going to watch the situation very closely at this current time here. So before, if we do have to seek shelter, we're right here. The live stream is going to continue until we have to get to that point. But right now, we are good to go. But I am very concerned for my folks that are going to be right here. Give me 1 second. It's going to be right here. Give me 1 second. It's going to be right there. Highway 10, and then also Highway 100 and Highway 65. Anybody that's between Cabot Village and Maumelle right now needs to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to unity outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately here. That's the biggest thing that I want to stress at this current time here. So, give me 1 second. Hang on. Give me 1 second. Okay. Alright, so we're watching the situation closely. That's the biggest thing. That's the tornado warning right through here. We're watching this one up here. Now, this one up here, this tornado, this area of rotation up here near the Cleburne area, this one has started to die off somewhat. It's right there near the equipment area. This one's continuing to move out towards northeast. This one's going to move right for the Heber Springs area. So if you know anyone in these areas, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to unity outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this current time here. But the attention right now, I know a lot of people, especially in Little Rock, are wanting this information right now here. This was coming right for downtown Central Arkansas at this point. We're going to continue to monitor the situation very closely here. I promise you guys, I guarantee my safety. I'm fine. we're good. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being here and stuff like that. I guarantee you that I am good to go. I know my situation. I know my surroundings. I know where I am. I know where my walls are and stuff like that between myself and the tornado. So folks that are wondering, I am good to go. Okay, we're going to continue this stream all the way through at this current time here. Okay, so at this current point, we're going to continue to monitor the situation. This one's going to go right to Highway 10. If you are on Highway 10 right now, you need to be off the roads. You need to find a shelter immediately. That's the biggest thing I want to stress right for you guys right now. We're going to continue to monitor the situation. But folks, if you are in this area, you need to be taking your tornado precautions right now, okay? Get away from windows, put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point here, okay? So, also downstream, Highway 365. If you are on 365 right now, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls to uni outside as possible, get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this current point here. So, let's take a look at this real quickly here. Let's take a look at this real fast. Let's go over to our debris indicator, and boy, look at there. I mean, we're gonna clear that up real fast and make sure that we're good to go at this point here. And I said, folks, if it does get to that situation, we will have to watch out very closely. This is crossing over Interstate 430 at this current time. So, folks, if you know anyone in these areas, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this current point here, okay? So I want to reassure you guys, okay? I want to reassure everyone that we are good to go. We are good to go in this area. If we're in the weather center, we're in the heights, we're fine. I guarantee you, okay? Our weather center is located somewhere over here. Tornadoes going this way. So we are good to go. We're going to continue coverage. I will say this, though. There may be some temporary radar feed issues right through here. There may be some temporary inflow that may interfere with the radar, so we're going to have to watch that very closely here. But right now, take your tornado precautions immediately, get away from windows, put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point. So we're going to zoom this out. I'm going to go ahead and zoom this back in to this one right here, and the area of rotation as it stands is going to be right here on County Road 126 out here. That is west of Little Rock at this point. This is going to be coming onto Highway 10 at this time, and it's going to be making its way into the just west of the Camet Village area, and it's going to make a way right for Highway 365 at this current time. So if you know anyone in these areas that need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately, get away from windows, put as many walls to uni outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point, okay? So I want to reassure you guys, there's area of rotation right through here. All right, it's going to continue to move off towards northeast. Folks, if you are on